Well, hello again, and welcome to show number 5 of Old Time Radio with Rick. I'm Rick Skeen, the host of this show, and today we'll start off the next 3-4 weeks with Thanksgiving programs. Got a lot to tell you about, so we'll get started here with the first show. And then we'll have a break and let you know how the new station's coming along. And I think it's going to be coming along just fine pretty soon here. Maybe even sooner than I anticipated, but we will wait and see about that. Right now, let's get started with our first program. This is from November 25th, 1943. It's the Abbott and Costello show. And of course, everybody knows Abbott and Costello. And this program is entitled Costello's Pet Turkey. So, enjoy the show and sit back and relax and listen to this one.
The Abbott and Costello program, brought to you by Camel, the cigarette that's first in the service according to actual sales records. See if your throat and your taste don't make Camel a first with you, too. Find out for yourself. Listen to the great rhythms of Freddie Rich and his orchestra, the swingy singing of Connie Haynes. And this being Thanksgiving Day, we recall this touching scene. As the good ship Mayflower landed at Plymouth Rock, the captain shouted to the Indian chief,
Costello, do you realize it's 7 o'clock? Where have you been?
Oh, Abbott, I just came from your house. And have I got news for you?
What is it?
Your cat just had chickens.
My cat had chickens?
Yep.
My cat had chickens?
Yep.
You mean kittens. Cats don't have chickens.
What was that you brought home in a paper bag last night?
Chickens.
Well, your cat just had them.
You mean that cat ate my chickens?
He swallowed the chickens, bag and all.
Why didn't you take them away from him?
You know me, Abbott. I ain't the type that would let the bag out of the cat.
I
read that wrong, huh?
Yes. Well, I've got plenty of other food around the house.
Well, by the way, Abbott.
What?
Seeing that this is Thanksgiving Day,
Yes?
I hate to think of you eating alone.
What do you mean?
What do you say to having Thanksgiving dinner with me?
Well, why, that's mighty fine of you, Costello.
Good.
At what time?
8 o'clock at your house.
No. You'll get no turkey at my house.
Then how about a little duck?
Duck?
Yeah, that's a chicken with snowshoes on.
Hey, look. I'm sorry, Costello. You can't come to my house for Thanksgiving. I'm having a dinner for the Snooty set.
Oh, the Snooty set.
You heard me.
No, I'm not good enough to eat with pigs.
No. Will you listen to me, please?
I'm listening.
Tonight I'm entertaining a few of the 400.
A few of the 400?
Yes.
That's 800 altogether.
No, just the 400.
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
That's your line.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well,
just because they weigh a little more than me, that don't make them any better than I am.
No, look, talk sense, please. I couldn't have you at my house. This is going to be a very classy affair. Why, I have a little silver tray to brush the crumbs on.
Crumbs?
Mm-hmm. Certainly, don't you have crumbs at your table?
Sure, Rabbit. You're welcome anytime.
No. There you go. You have absolutely no finesse.
No what?
I said you have no finesse.
What would I do with a furnace? In California, you don't need a furnace. If it gets cold, we turn on the gas heater.
All right, Costello. I didn't say...
Or the radiator.
I didn't say...
He's getting like boy,
All right, look, please.
Furnace.
All right. I didn't say furnace in the first place. I said finesse. Look.
You don't know what you're saying.
All right, you're getting me all mixed up here. Look, I'm trying to tell you. Listen to me, please. Your table manners are terrible. The last time you had dinner at my house, you did nothing but reach across the table and grab for the food.
Well, what was wrong with that?
What was wrong with that? You've got a tongue, haven't you?
Yeah, but I can reach further with my arm.
There you go again, Costello. You see? You know nothing at all about the proper way to eat. You have no etiquette.
I got no what?
You have no etiquette.
Etiquette?
Yes, you heard me.
You don't even know how to say the word. Etiquette.
Yeah.
You dope.
What do you mean?
You mean antiquity.
No. It's etiquette.
Well, etiquette and antiquity, it's the same thing
All right,
anyway.
so what?
Well, I'll go out and I'll buy one of them books on etiquette by Emily Pillar.
Emily Pillar?
Yeah.
That's Emily Post.
Okay, I'll read the both of them.
Both of them.
I'll go from pillar to post.
Well, you should read that book, Costello. It will tell you a lot of things. For instance, which is proper to use when eating peas, a fork or a spoon?
I don't use either one.
Well, how do you eat your peas?
Oh, I just slide my lower lip under the plate and bank the peas off the mashed potatoes.
Costello.
Sometimes the mashed potatoes goes in my ears.
Yes, I can imagine.
Sloppy, huh?
Yeah. Costello, you haven't got the brains of a 2-year-old child.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
Look at the difference in our ages.
The way you act, I could never have you at my table.
Look, Abbott, if you know so much about manners, just answer me this one thing.
What is it?
Which hand do you stir your coffee with?
I stir my coffee with my right hand.
That's funny. Most people use a spoon.
That's no laughing. Now, that settles it, Costello.
You got no etiquette.
Yeah, that settles everything. I was just about to break down and invite you for dinner. But now you had to be a smart aleck, didn't you?
Wait a minute, Abbott.
Yeah, you did.
Wait a minute.
Now,
You're my old pal.
I can't help it.
You can't do this to me.
Well, I did.
You've got to invite me to dinner on Thanksgiving. I ain't got no place to go.
I'm sorry.
You can't let your old friend starve.
Ah.
Look at me, Abbott.
Yeah.
I only weigh 90 pounds now.
90 pounds. Why, you're 56 inches around the waist.
Yeah, but I'm hollow.
All right, look. All right. You can come to dinner, Costello. But you'll have to make yourself useful. Now get there early and wait on the table.
Well, why should I wait on a table? Why can't I wait in Apollo with the rest of the people?
No, you dummy. I
don't want to sit on your table waiting.
I want you to help with the serving. Now, the first course will be hors d'oeuvres. Of course, you know what hors d'oeuvres are.
Yeah, that's French for leftovers.
No. Costello, hors d'oeuvres are snacks. Now, you take care of the ladies first. It's up to you to see that each lady gets a snack.
Are their husbands going to be there?
Certainly.
Then I ain't going to do it.
What? Do what?
I ain't going to go around snacking the ladies. Their husbands are liable to come around and snack me.
On second thought, you'd better stay out in the kitchen and help with the oyster dressing.
Why, Abbott,
What's the matter?
what you said.
Well, what's wrong?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Talking that way to a boy of my age.
What do you mean?
I'm just at the age of picking things up like
Well,
that.
what's
too.
wrong?
Why, it's a good thing my mother isn't here. Oh, the shame of it all.
What are you talking about?
How dare you ask me to help with the oyster dressing?
What do you mean?
Now, look, Abbott. I didn't mind when you said I had to wait for you on a table. And I was only mildly surprised when you asked me to snack all the ladies, especially in front of their husbands. But when you have the nerve to ask me to go out in the kitchen and dress a bunch of naked oysters, you not only humilify me, but you have impugned on my good name.
Tomorrow on the back cover of Life magazine, you'll see a very stirring set of pictures under the title Pair of Aces Back to Back. A Navy Dauntless dive bomber attacking a Japanese carrier. Notice, too, the pair of flyers, the pair of aces in the lower left-hand corner. And read the words they're saying. I quote, Camel's our cigarette. Suits the throat and the taste to a T. Unquote.
C-A-M-E-L-S.
Camels, they're aces with the aces. Could be with you, too. Here is Freddie Rich with Java Junction.
little baby loves a shortening bread. Mammy's little baby loves shortening the shortening.
Costello, you have to cut out that singing in the kitchen. You're disturbing the guests.
But Abbott, I always sing when I'm making sour milk biscuits.
Sour milk biscuits?
Sure.
We haven't got any sour milk.
You will have when I get through singing.
And Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
All right, look.
Nelson Eddy better save his money.
All right, look. Cut that out. Look, what are you doing there? What's all that stuff you're putting in?
Tell me how to do it.
What did she say?
First, I got to put in 2 tubs of butter.
2 tubs of butter?
Sure, it says right here in the cookbook. Butter, 2 TBS tubs.
That's tablespoons.
I threw them in, too.
You threw... what else did you put in there?
I put in some flour, salt, baking powder, and 3 gullops of molasses.
3 gullops? What are gullops?
You know, Abbott, when you pour the molasses out of the jug, it goes gullop, gullop, gullop. I put in 3 of those.
Look, Costello, I don't want you to do any cooking. I've got a chef coming here to take care of that. I thought you'd be out here singeing the feathers off the goose.
Doing what?
Singeing. Don't you know how to singe?
Sure, I know how to singe. I was singeing when you came in.
And Mammy's little baby loves shortening.
No.
I'm a good singer.
Yeah, no. Singeing gets the down off the goose. Didn't you ever get down off a goose?
No.
Did you read that right?
Yeah. Well, didn't you?
Did I ever what?
Didn't you ever get down off a goose?
No, I got down off a horse.
No.
I never rode a goose.
No.
Hey, that was
Wait a minute. Oh, thank goodness. Here comes the chef.
I children, the cooking I'm a dandy.
Kitzel, don't tell me that you're the cook.
Yeah, could be, yes. You know something over in Paris? I am known as the famous French chef Pierre Rene.
You're the great Rene?
That I am, yes.
Then what are you doing in California?
Oh, I always come here in the Rene season.
The Rene season?
Yes.
This guy's a washout.
Never mind that, Costello. Look, we've got to get my Thanksgiving dinner cooked, please. Kitzel, you'll find all the utensils in that big cupboard over there.
Oh, pish-posh utensils. Who needs your utensils? I brought along my own pot.
That's the first pot I ever saw with a belt around it.
Costello, please, keep out of this. Kitzel, do you know anything about cooking game?
Do I know how to cook game? Why, I'm cooking the finest pinochle you ever tasted.
You cook pinochle?
Sure, pinocles and sauerkraut.
Oh.
Look, Kitzel, I don't want to get personal, but why don't you pull in your tongue? Nobody ordered cold cuts.
Ooh.
Look, never mind that, Costello. Kitzel, get busy, please, and get the dinner ready.
No. Just a second, my little man. Don't get excited. First, I got to open my little bag and get out my chisels and saws.
What chisels and saws?
Cream chisels and cranberry sauce.
You know, Kitzel, it's too bad you didn't bring your monkey wrench.
Well, for goodness sake, what would I be doing with a monkey wrench?
Well, you could tighten the nuts on a fruitcake.
Costello, please. Will you get busy and help Kitzel? I'm going into the living room and see if any of my guests have arrived yet. Sebastian! Shut off that radio! Shut it off! My Sebastian.
Well, I just come over to help you out, Uncle Bud, and I thought the guests would like some nice romantic music.
Romantic music?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that tiger isn't romantic music.
It is to another tiger.
All right. Now, look, Sebastian, if you're going to hang around here, you'll have to behave yourself. Now, this is going to be a very formal Thanksgiving dinner. The men will all wear tails.
Tails? Who's coming? Mickey Mouse?
Now, will you please listen, Sebastian? It will be your job to usher the people into the dining room. I will sit at the head of the table. Ken Niles will sit on my right hand, and Connie Haynes will sit on my left hand.
Ken Niles is going to sit on your right hand?
That's right.
And Connie Haynes will sit on your left hand?
That's right.
How are you going to eat? With your feet?
No. Look, when you get all the people seated, you go to the kitchen. Then when I ring this little dinner bell, your brother will hand me the carving knife, and you give me the bird.
In front of everybody?
That'll do, Sebastian. Now go out in the kitchen and make some ice water. And I do hope you can make ice water.
Yeah, sure. You just peel an onion.
An onion?
Yeah, that'll make your eyes water.
Sebastian, ice water is frozen water.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Then what is frozen ink?
I stink.
You'll get no argument out of me, brother.
What?
Connie Haynes in a current revival of a great song, The Sunny Side of the Street.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear a bit of pan? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover, yeah, I crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street.
You have read in the papers how people are smoking so much more and how cigarettes are being shipped to our fighting men overseas in huge quantities. And if your dealer occasionally should say, "Sorry, sir, we're out of Camels today," don't let that stop you from asking for Camels the very next time you're buying cigarettes. Remember that Camel's rich, full flavor and kind, cool mildness make Camels worth asking for again and again. Because war or peace, Camel is still Camel. And your T-zone, that's T for taste and T for throat, will confirm that statement. C-A-M-E-L-S. Camels, now as always, the cigarette of costlier tobaccos. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we take you to the home of Bud Abbott, where a formal Thanksgiving dinner is about to be served. Costello has been working in the kitchen all day like a dog, but he is now ready to face the guests. Let us look in on this dog face.
Costello, the guests are arriving. Open the door and announce them as they come in.
Announcing Mr. and Mrs. Ned Blank, Mr. and Mrs. Phil Krasner. Announcing Lord Pipsqueak, Knight of the Garter, Lord Beaverboard, Knight of the Bath, and Hetty Lamar.
Hetty Lamar isn't here.
I was thinking of another night.
Young man, how dare you leave me standing here? Kindly take my card and announce me.
Okay. Hillside, 2183. Ask for Hazel. If a man answers, hang up.
Oh.
Wrong card! Wrong card!
That isn't my card.
I'm sorry, I got that mixed up with one of my own.
Costello, what's your manners?
Okay.
This is Lady Jennifer Cookie Cutter.
That's right, old boy. My home, you know, is at Glendinning on the Tyne.
Glendinning on the Tyne? Then you must know my great Aunt Harriet. The old girl is bow-legged, you know.
Oh, from Glendinning on the Tyne?
No, from hitchhiking on oil trucks.
All right, that's enough, Costello. Take Lady Jennifer's coat and I'll escort her to the table.
Oh, by all means, the table. Oh, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse.
Costello, get that horse out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
And please, bring Lady Jennifer a cocktail.
Yes, make it a martini with a black olive.
You drink martinis with a black olive?
Yes, I'm in mourning for my husband.
If I was you, Lady Jennifer, I would lay off those martinis. They're pretty hot.
Costello, what makes you think they're hot?
Because I just poured one. When I dropped the olive in, the olive stuck out its pimento.
By the way, Mr. Abbott, I have a little Thanksgiving present for you. A nice fat Belgian hare. I raised them, you know.
Oh, thank you, Lady Jennifer. Costello, take Lady Jennifer's hair.
Take her what?
Take her hair and put it in the icebox.
Okay, Abbott.
No, you fool!
Costello, now look what you've done. Speak to Lady Jennifer.
Hello, Baldy.
I've never been so insulted in all my life.
Come, Lady Jennifer. I'll show you under the table. I'll show you...
Get the line right, not under the table.
No, I'm sorry, Mrs. Jennifer. I'll show you to the table.
Very well. You may take my arm.
Does that come off, too?
Costello, get busy and serve the dinner. And remember, I don't want to see your thumb in the soup.
Okay.
Lord Beaverbrook. Pardon me, Mr. Beaverbrook.
It's quite all right.
It's quite all right, please. What part of the turkey would you like?
Well, I'm a flyer. I'll take the wing.
And Freddie Rich.
Well, I'm a musician. I'll take the drumstick.
And Sebastian, what part of the turkey would you like?
Well, you can skip me. I'm a dead-end kid.
I hope somebody will remember me. I like the neck.
I like the neck, too, Connie. I'll meet you out on the front porch.
Costello, keep quiet and serve the soup. And remember, I don't want to see your thumb in it.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Oh! Somebody turn off the light! Quick, turn on the light, somebody!
There, the lights are on. What's the trouble, Lady Jennifer?
Oh, my necklace is gone! Somebody's stolen my pearl necklace!
Quick, Costello, call the police.
Police!
Wait, no. Use the French phone.
I don't speak French.
Oh, here. Please, here, I'll call them. Operator, give me the police. Hurry up. Hello, police department. This is Bud Abbott's home. There's been a robbery here. Come over at once.
Well, here we are. We're from headquarters.
What took you so long?
I
said, what took you so long?
So long?
What, are you leaving already?
Now shut up, you. You look suspicious. Stick up your hands and reach for the ceiling.
Okay, but I know I won't make it.
Officer, there's been a robbery here. The lights went out and somebody stole Lady Jennifer's pearl necklace.
A stolen necklace, eh? Somebody will get the jug for this.
Sounds like you've had it already.
Come on. Line up against the wall, and you too, fat boy. What's your name?
Honest Lou Costello.
Costello, eh? Ain't you got a relative doing time at Alcatraz?
Yes, sir. That's my Uncle Stebbins. They put him in for something he didn't do.
For something he didn't do?
Yeah, he didn't wipe off his fingerprints when he robbed the bank.
Now get in line there. I'll take this gentleman first. What's your name?
Lord Beaverboard.
Where were you sitting when the necklace was stolen?
Well,
You lie!
Ouch!
How long have you known Lady Jennifer?
Well,
You lie!
Ouch!
Gets rid of him fast, don't he?
All right, Sergeant. Drag this man out of here. Now, Costello, you're next.
I think there are others ahead of me.
I'm ready to take you now.
But I don't want to be selfish. Women and children first.
Sit down there in the chair.
Just a minute. Who are you shoving?
I'm shoving you, and what about it?
I just wanted to be sure.
Now, where was you when the lights went out?
I was.
You lied!
I expected it.
Ouch!
What's the matter?
Look what he
Did
did.
you hurt your head?
No, but he broke my shoelaces.
Now, shut up, you. Now I'm going to question the little boy here.
Oh, no. Not that. You can't question my little brother Sebastian.
And why not?
There's only one head between us. I'm playing both parts.
Just a moment, officer. There's been a horrible mistake. My pearls weren't stolen at all. They slipped off my neck into my tapioca.
Well, leave them there. You look better wearing tapioca. What happened to Costello?
But wait a minute. There's one thing I can't understand, Costello. Who turned out the lights when you were serving dinner?
I turned them out, Uncle Bud,
Sebastian, why did you turn the lights off?
because you said you didn't want to see Louis' thumb in the soup.
Sebastian, do you realize what you did? You almost got me arrested. Your brother. They might have thrown me in jail. Then I would have to walk around with the pallor of the prison on my noble brow. Why did you do such things to your loving brother, Sebastian?
Oh!
Abbott and Costello will be back in a moment.
Thanks to the Yanks of the Week. Tonight we salute Lieutenant Thomas A. McKenzie of Auburn, Kentucky. Fighting off unconsciousness from flak wounds in his chest, this bombardier hero completed his bomb run without even letting his own crewmates know he was wounded. In your honor, Lieutenant McKenzie, the makers of Camels are sending to our fighters overseas 400,000 Camel cigarettes.
Each of the three Camel radio shows honors a Yank of the Week by sending free 400,000 Camel cigarettes overseas, a total of more than 1 million Camels sent free each week. In this country, the Camel caravans traveling from camp to camp have thanked audiences of more than 4 million Yanks with free shows and free Camels. Camel broadcasts go out to the United States 3 times a week, are rebroadcast to our men overseas and to South America. Listen tomorrow to Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore, Monday to Bob Hawke in Thanks to the Yanks, and next Thursday to Abbott and Costello. And now here are Bud Abbott and Lou Costello with the final word.
Well, Costello, now that we've done our show, let's get home and have our turkey, huh?
I think it's a good idea because I'm just about ready for it now.
Did you make the stuffing?
Yeah, I did. I made grand stuff.
You did, huh?
Yeah, I ground up a lot of breadcrumbs, and then I put in some garlic.
Oh, that's
and then
swell.
I put in a little onions, and I put in some more garlic, then a whole lot of onions,
Yeah.
then a whole lot of garlic, then a whole lot of more onions,
Yeah.
then a whole lot of garlic, and a whole lot of more onions.
Wait a minute.
And then
Wait a minute.
little more
Wait
pinch of garlic.
Wait a minute. Did you taste it?
Taste it? I couldn't even get near it.
Oh. Good night, folks.
Good night. Good night, everybody.
Be sure to tune in next week for another great Abbott and Costello show. And remember, try Camels on your throat and your taste. See for yourself how Camel's mildness, coolness, and flavor click with you. The Abbott and Costello show for Camel cigarettes will be back at this very same time next week. Don't miss it. This is Ken Niles in Hollywood wishing you all a pleasant good night.
From November 25th, 1943, it was the Abbott and Costello show. Coming up next, another comedy entry for you, George Burns and Gracie Allen. This one's from November 17th, 1942, and it's entitled Gracie Buys a Live Turkey. Just before we get started with that, I want to let you know we'll give you an update at the end of the show about the progress on the new station. So stay tuned for that. So let's listen to Burns and Allen now from November 17th, 1942.
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
Swan's a soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash, yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the 6 hits and a miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Here they are. Well, today George and Gracie are discussing a subject that most husbands never mention to their wives. In fact, it's a subject that never arises in the average American home. Let's listen.
Gracie, you've been spending too much money. Look at this budget for November.
Well, it balances. We're not spending any more than we make.
I know, but that's the trouble. Some of the items in this budget are ridiculous. Milk for cats, $2? We haven't got any cats.
No, but we have mice.
Well, I don't get it.
Well, if I put bowls of milk all around the house, the mice will think we have cats, and they'll be afraid to come out of the hole.
Oh, fine. And some night I'll kick over a bowl of milk and ruin the rug.
Oh, you're right, dear. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, I know. I'll scare the mice with milk that doesn't splash.
Milk that doesn't splash?
Sure, cheese.
Yeah, that'll scare the mice to death.
Oh, I'll answer it.
Okay, dear.
Oh, it's the postman. Good morning, Mr. Postman.
Good morning, Mrs. Burns. Only one for you today, and I'm afraid that one's a bill.
Oh, well, that's all right, Mr. Postman. I realize the post office only sends us what they get. How are you feeling?
Oh, simply marvelous. I took a nice cold shower. Ice cold shower this morning and then ran around the reservoir a couple of times in my shorts. I guess that's what put all this pep in me.
Oh, no doubt about it. It is a gorgeous morning, isn't it? Cool and snappy, sort of.
Yeah. On a morning like this, I can feel the blood racing through my veins. Can't you?
Well, no, I can't, but then you're much closer to your veins than I am.
Yeah, that's true. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Any mail, dear?
Oh, it's just a bill, probably for my new hat. It only costs $12.
$12.
Well, George, I only buy what I absolutely have to. Just bare necessities.
Is a $12 hat a bare necessity?
No, but I didn't want my head to be one.
Gracie, you don't need any more hats. And today, when you buy anything you don't need, you're taking something away from our fighting men.
Oh, well, gee, I never thought of that. I'll wrap up the hat right away.
That's the idea.
I wonder who would look better on, a soldier or a sailor.
Gracie, it's not the hat. You see, very few things are being made for civilians today. And if everybody tries to buy those things, the demand makes prices go up, and we've got inflation.
Oh, well, gee, the sales girl said that the hat would cause comment, but I never thought it would cause inflation.
Well, let's get back to this budget. What's this silly item? Bicycle pump, $1.
Well, that's an economy. That'll save us lots of money on breakfast food.
A bicycle pump will save us money on breakfast food?
Well, yeah, from now on, we'll puff our own rice.
Yes, that'll save us a fortune. And what's this? Rose bushes, $75.
Well, you know that florist who has that lovely big greenhouse just off Glendale Boulevard?
Yes.
Well, I happened to be out in that direction yesterday and went through it.
Yeah, but I don't see any rose bushes around here. Where are they?
Well, there's one still stuck in the bumper of my car.
You really went through
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
but I'll save enough money to make up for it. I'm going to buy one of those things that conductors punch tickets with.
What's that for?
Well, then we won't have to pay the cleaner to take the spots out of your neckties.
I see. We just punch them out.
Yeah.
Look, sweetheart, from now on, we only buy what we absolutely need. The rest of the money goes for war bonds.
But we do buy war bonds every month.
Yes, but if we cut out these silly things, we can really buy more. And not only that, we get $4 back for every $3 we put in. We help prevent inflation, and we help win the war.
Oh, you're right there. Everybody should cut down on their spending and put that money into war bonds.
That's the idea. So let's throw the silly budget right out of the window.
Well, but don't you want to look at the items for our Thanksgiving dinner?
We'll cut that, too.
Oh.
The turkey we had last year should have had a pilot and a bombardier.
Well, this year we're only getting a 12-pound turkey, 3 pounds for each of us.
Well, I don't follow that arithmetic.
Well, Blanche and Harry Morton are going to eat with us.
Not again. Those sponges have had Thanksgiving dinner at our house 5 years in a row.
They're not sponges, George. They contribute their share. Every year, Blanche brings over a jar of her homemade pickled peaches.
I know.
And every year, Harry helps you clean the walls when the jar explodes.
Sure, they're absolutely wonderful people.
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie. What's cooking?
I am. Burnt up about Harry Morton. That guy's a sponge.
He's not a sponge.
He is, too. We'll leave it to Bill.
Now, wait a minute, George. I'd rather not get in the middle of a family quarrel.
Bill, I'm trying to prove to Gracie that Morton is a sponge. Now, you know him. What do you say?
Well, George, of course, there's only one way to tell a sponge. That is, a real sponge. You rub soap on it, and if you get loads and loads of pure baby gentle suds, you've got Swan, the new white floating soap.
What's Harry Morton got to do with Swan soap?
Well, now, look, George, I don't want to get involved in a family argument.
Yeah, but just answer me one question. Have you ever known Morton to reach for a check?
Well,
Oh, come on, admit it, have you?
Well, maybe you don't notice his hand when he reaches across the white tablecloth to pick up a check because his hands are so soft and white. You know, he washes his wife's dishes with Swan soap, George.
Oh, brother.
That's Swan for you, George. So kind to your hands. Mild as the finest Castile soaps. So mild you should use it not only for washing the dishes, but for every soap and water job in the house. In fact, Swan is great for everything.
Bill, I'm going to get you to agree that Harry Morton is a moocher if it's the last thing I do. What about the other day when the three of us went into a drugstore for sodas? Who paid the check?
Oh, you mean the drugstore that's having the sale on Swan soap?
Yeah. How about that?
Oh, it's going great. Lots of dealers are now running a big sale on Swan.
Bill, I'm talking about Harry Morton.
Oh, well, he bought 3 bars.
Oh.
You know, you buy 3 bars and save. Yes, sir, you save in more ways than one.
Well, I give up. There's a guy invites himself to my house for Thanksgiving dinner, and nobody agrees with me that he's a chiseler.
Well, now, wait a minute. Did he do that?
Yes.
Well, anyone who invites himself to your house for Thanksgiving dinner without being asked certainly is a chiseler.
There. You see, Gracie?
Oh, George, that reminds me why I dropped in.
Why?
Shake hands with another chiseler. So long. See you Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm glad his salary is frozen. It'll be easier to break off. Anyway, Gracie, there's no reason why we should buy a turkey to feed the Mortons.
Well, but George...
Look, Gracie, why can't we eat at their house for a change?
Well, I could call Blanche and sort of hint around.
Well, I wish you would. Of course, I don't want you to be too blunt about it.
Oh, don't worry, George. She won't suspect a thing. I'll be very subtle about it. Hello? Hello, Blanche. This is Gracie. How about inviting us for Thanksgiving dinner this year?
That's very subtle.
What did you say, Blanche? Oh, I see. Your mother and father are coming for Thanksgiving. What? Oh, no, that's all right. Yeah, we understand. And goodbye, Blanche. Well, George, Blanche's mother and father are going to be in town.
I know, I heard.
So we won't need to get a turkey for 4 people.
Oh, good.
We'll get one for 6.
This is Paul Whiteman, and here's Jimmy Cash voicing the hopes of millions of people all over the world.
When the lights go on again all over the world, and the boys are home again all over the world, and rain or snow is all that may fall from the skies above. A kiss won't mean goodbye, but hello to love. When the lights go on again all over the world, and the ship will sail again all over the world, then we'll have time for things like wedding rings, and free hearts will sing. When the lights go on again all over the
Well, George didn't say positively that the Mortons couldn't come for Thanksgiving dinner. He just gave Gracie $1.50 and told her to buy the turkey. So now we pick up Gracie at Myers Market.
Hello, Mr. Myers.
Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Burns.
Well, now, I'm in sort of a hurry. Can you wait on me right away?
Why, of course I can. What would you like?
Well, I'd like to place an order for...
Gracie, darling!
Patsy Sagwell.
Oh, my, it's good to see you again, Gracie. Where have you been keeping yourself?
Oh, around. Where have you been?
Oh, here and there.
Oh, hell, no wonder we haven't seen each other. Oh, what are you doing? Shopping for dinner?
Yes, I bought some nice carrots.
Oh, well, what a piece of luck, Tootsie. Only yesterday I read the most wonderful new recipe. It's called Carrot Supreme.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Oh, it is. First you take the carrots.
Yes.
And then you wash them.
Yes.
And, well, that's all I remember, but it's called Carrot Supreme, and it's wonderful.
Oh, Oh, I can't wait to try it.
Oh, dear. Mr. Myers has wandered off somewhere. Mr. Myers!
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, I don't want to be a pest, but I am in a hurry, and could you wait on me now?
Right away. What would you like?
Well, I'd like... Oh, Tootsie, I noticed you're carrying a hat box.
Yes, I got a new hat at Sally's.
Well, I got a new hat, too, but George made me send it back.
Is he trying to act like a man again?
Well, he was right this time. We're cutting our budget down, and besides, the hat was pretty extreme.
What are the new creations?
Well, yeah, with a military motive. The hat had a flat top, and when you leaned over, a little toy airplane took off.
Oh, how adorable.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Myers is gone again. He's much too scatterbrained to run a market. Mr. Myers!
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, I hate to complain about the service, but I do think you might remember that I'm in a hurry.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Burns. What would you like?
Well, I'd like it... Oh, Tootsie, look! Look who's driving by the market.
Who is it, Gracie?
Bill Walsh. Have you still got a crush on him?
Not anymore. After what happened Saturday night, I never want to see him again.
Why? What did happen?
Oh, I invited him for dinner, and I thought it would be more cozy if I locked all the doors. Well, there I was picking broken window glass out of my soup.
Well, this is the limit. That silly Mr. Myers has forgotten all about it. Mr. Myers!
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, if you want me to trade here, you shouldn't keep disappearing when you know I'm in a hurry.
Okay, Mrs. Burns, what would you like?
How much is turkey?
50 cents a pound.
All right, here's $1.50. Give me an 18-pound turkey.
Oh, Mrs. Burns, that isn't enough.
Oh, yes, it is. We're only having 6 for dinner.
No. $1.50 would only buy that little turkey over there. He only weighs 3 pounds.
Why didn't you pluck his feathers out like the others?
Well, he might not like it. You see, he's alive.
Oh. Say, I've got an idea. I could fatten him up, and then the Mortons could come to dinner, and it'll only cost George $1.50. Mr. Myers, I'll take him.
Okay, Mrs. Burns, I'll get it.
Gracie, what does George say if you bring a live turkey in the house?
Oh, gee, I never thought of that. He'll be mad. He even had a fight with Herman this morning.
Did he pick on that sweet little duck?
Yeah, George yelled and yelled, but Herman didn't say a word. He just sat there quietly in the nest he'd made of George's shorts.
Oh, such a darling.
Yes. Oh, I know. I'll sneak the turkey in. Tootsie, would you lend me your hat box to hide it in?
Of course I would. I've been dying to show you my new hat anyway. I'll take it out of the box.
All right.
Now, here's the turkey, Mrs. Burns. No, not by the neck. You hold him by the feet.
Oh, all right. Oh, my, his little feet are chapped. Well, he shouldn't be running around barefooted in November. Well, Mr. Myers, why does he make that funny noise?
Well, all turkeys gobble.
Well, then he should eat slower. or else take some bicarbonate of soda.
Gracie, look. I've got on my new hat. How do you like it?
Well, do you want my frank opinion, or would you rather have me tell a little white lie?
I'll take the little white lie.
Tootsie, it's simply gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Gracie.
You're welcome, Tootsie. Goodbye. Hello, dear.
Oh, back so soon. Gracie, did you buy another hat?
Uh-uh.
And what's in the box?
What box?
The box you have under your arm.
What arm?
What arm?
Well, you
that
mean
arm.
this arm? The one attached to my shoulder?
Yes, what's in it?
Oh, bones and muscles and arteries. And...
Not the arm, the box.
Oh, the box.
The box. What's in it?
Well, a picture?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm telling you. It's a picture of my cousin Philip. That's what it is, a picture. A talking picture. Oh, Cousin Philip spoke very little English.
Gracie, for the last time, what is in that box?
Well, all right, I'll tell you. But you've got to promise you won't get mad. Will you get mad?
No.
How much do you want to bet?
Gracie.
Well, you told me I could spend $1.50 for a turkey. So I bought a little live one, and we can fatten them up, and that way we can have the Mortons over.
You bought a live turkey?
Well, they're easier to fatten up that way than the other kind.
well, that's fine. I knew he'd wind up feeding those Mortons again. Okay, let's see this turkey that we're going to fatten up. Gee. He isn't very friendly. He looks like he's thinking of biting my nose off.
Well, look what you're thinking of doing to him.
Yes, I guess so.
Oh, it's my darling little ducky. Oh, Herman, Mama has a surprise for you. Yes, really. Look in this box. Oh, Herman, don't be frightened. It's only a little turkey. And he's going to live with us for a while, Herman. Oh, why, Herman Burns, you're jealous.
This is the happiest moment of my life.
From Irving Berlin's This Is the Army, here's a tune that's coming up fast to be a real winner. The Boys and 6 hits and a miss in I'm Getting Tired So I Can Sleep.
I'm getting tired so I can sleep. I want to sleep so I can dream. I want to dream so I can be with you. Baby, I'm yours. I've got your picture by my bed. Soon I'll place it neath my head to keep me company the whole night through. For a little while, whatever befalls, I will see you smile till reveille calls. Do-do-do-do, I hope you're tired enough to sleep, and please sleep long enough to dream, and look for me, for I'll be dreaming. I'm dreaming dreams, but now it seems I'm getting tired, so tired.
Gracie, are Herman and that Tuck and that Duck still fighting in the pantry?
Well, I'll look and see. I think they're still fighting.
I got the same impression. And unless we do something, the neighbors will be complaining about the noise.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past that snippy Mrs. Marks who lives next door. She's had it in for me ever since I borrowed her vacuum cleaner last week. I don't know why.
Well, maybe you kept it too long.
Oh, no, I gave it back to her as soon as I finished cleaning the fish.
Very unreasonable woman.
Hi, people.
What brings you back, Chisler?
Well, that's what brought me back. I invited myself over here for Thanksgiving dinner, and then I remembered I have a date with a girl for Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Bill.
But, Gracie, you love having her. She eats like a horse.
Oh, fine. Well, Bill, your Thanksgiving dinner's in the pantry, and he's fighting with that silly duck.
Oh, a live turkey? Well, I better go out and break it up. You know, it'd be just like Herman to bite him in the part I like best. Leave it to me, George. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just a minute. Don't you birds realize that you get along better in life if you behave yourself and don't fight? Yes, that's so. Now, you take the case of a little swan I know, Herman. He was a good little bird, and now he's famous. They put his picture on every swan wrapper, and he's very proud, because Swan is the new white floating soap that gives you all that pure, mild lather so fast. So you see, Herman, it pays to be a sweet little bird. Yes, that's so. Oh, shut up. Oh, now, wait a minute. I didn't mean that, Herman. I meant you should be gentle, like Swan soap is gentle. It's as mild as the finest Castile soaps, so mild that mothers use it to bathe their babies, so mild that it's perfect for anybody's bath or shower. So, Herman, why don't you be mild and gentle, too, and put your wing around a cute, itsy-bitsy baby turkey? Why, listen, you little ducky. There's plenty of room for both of you. So instead of fighting, why don't you go half and half? You know, like Swan soap. You break it in two, put half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face. Now do you see what I'm talking about, Herman? Well, what do you say to the little turkey? Hey, ow, cut it out, ow! Well, so long, George. So long, Gracie.
Oh, what's your hurry, Bill?
Why are you limping?
Herman bit me in the part he likes best. Goodbye.
Gracie, go into the pantry and stop that fighting or we'll be thrown out of the neighborhood.
All right, dear. Oh, now, stop that right now. Stop it. Why, shame on you, Herman Burns. That's no way to treat a little girl turkey. Yes, a girl. Herman, isn't she cute? Yes. Why, Herman Burns. You know, sometimes I think you're older than you look. Hey, George.
Gracie. Look,
George,
Gracie,
a
man just delivered all these things. What are they anyway?
Well, they're for the turkey, George. I bought a little tub for it to swim around in, and I also bought...
A tub for the turkey to swim around in?
Well, yes, I thought it would be more humane. The turkey can get used to it by degrees, and it won't be such a shock when the time comes.
Get used to what by degrees?
Well, I'm going to fill the tub with gravy.
Well, that's a brilliant idea. Anything else?
Yes, I bought a sun lamp.
A sun lamp for the turkey?
Yeah.
Well, why did you get that?
Well, mostly for your sake.
For my sake?
Yeah, I know you prefer dark meat.
Gracie, your ideas about raising a turkey are too advanced.
But, George, people shouldn't be afraid to try something new. Suppose Marconi had been afraid to experiment. We'd only have spaghetti.
Oh, sure. Gracie, this turkey is costing me a fortune. Look at these price tags. Tub, $5. Sun lamp, $15. I could have bought 3 turkeys with this. This is absolutely ridiculous.
How do
Going
you
out
do?
and buying.
Have you a little turkey and a little duck, as reported by a neighbor?
Well, yes. Why?
May I refer you to Statute 193 of this county? Possession of 2 or more live fowl shall in this county be deemed ipso facto a poultry farm, and such aforesaid property pertaining thereof shall be governed according to Article 38, Section 17 of the laws of said county.
What does that mean?
Cough up $10 for a poultry license.
Well, that does it. I'm going into that pantry, and the next time you see that turkey, he'll have parsley where his feathers used to be.
Oh, but dear.
Come on. I'm going to settle this right now. I knew that this thing would cost me a fortune.
George, look. Herman and the turkey. Herman's got his wing around it.
Well, that's fine. Get this. Love comes to Herman Burns.
George, come inside a minute.
What?
George, I won't let you touch that turkey. It would be inhuman, that's what it would be.
What would be inhuman?
To eat our son's fiancée for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, George and Gracie will be right back, so I've got just a second to remind you to stop in where you see the Swan sign that says buy 3 and save. Take advantage of the big sale on Swan that so many dealers are now running. And don't forget, sale or no sale, you save with Swan. You save because Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. And you save because Swan goes further than easily wasted packaged soaps. No matter what you use Swan for, it saves you money. So buy 3 bars and save. Well, here they are again, George and Gracie. Gracie's on the phone.
Hello? Is this Harry Morton? Hello, Harry. Harry, will you tell Blanche George is on his way over with a little turkey? He wouldn't let me keep it. It's pretty small, but you can fatten him up. How? Well, just feed it chocolate fudge sundae. Well, sure it'll work. Look at your wife.
Next week at the same time, Eddie Cantor will be George and Gracie's guest, and there's a rumor that Ida might join the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. So the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows, George Burns and Gracie Allen, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you?
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say you're going to try today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From November 25th, 1942, that was the Burns and Allen Show. Before we get on to our next program, I'd just like to remind you we do have an email you can contact me at. TRRadio, that's RICKSOTRRADIO @gmail.com. Send along any comments, questions, requests, or whatever you have. And I will get them and make sure I can give you an answer. Our next program is called Casey Crime Photographer. This is a little more on the serious vein, kind of a police show, if you will. And this is from November 17th, 1947. And the title of it is After Turkey, the Bill.
The Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation brings you Crime Photographer.
Say, Casey, do you think they'll ever put my statue in the Hall of Fame?
What are you famous for, Ethelbert?
For 27 straight years, I always got the same part of the turkey. That's some kind of a record, ain't it?
Well, because you consistently get it in the neck, that might make you notorious, but not really famous. No, Ethelbert. You know, you have to do something really big, something important to deserve a famous name.
Like what?
Well, like Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Marvin. Every week at this time, the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, and its more than 10,000 employees bring you another adventure of Casey, Crime Photographer, ace cameraman who covers the crime news of a great city. Written by Alonzo Dean Cole, our adventure for tonight, After Turkey, the Bill. 7 o'clock in the evening, a medium-priced uptown restaurant known as Petrarchus' Olympian. At a table for 2, a flashily dressed young man pushes aside his empty plate and says to the pretty girl who sits opposite,
Hey, that turkey wasn't half bad.
You didn't leave much of it.
Neither did you.
Shall I order dessert now?
Uh-huh.
Hey, waiter. Gus,
Okay, kid. What do you want now, Joe?
we're ready for the plum pudding now.
Two plum pudding.
That's what you want, too, isn't it, Lottie?
Yes, and coffee.
Same here.
Okay, kid.
I don't know why you won't let me do anything for you in a classy way, Lottie. I asked you out for a Thanksgiving spread, and you made me bring you to a cheap place like this.
Joe, you can't afford to throw your money away.
Well, you know what I can afford. I may not have as good a job as my cousin Bird yet, but that doesn't
What's
mean
Bird got to do with it?
He's got plenty to do with it. If you didn't have to work today, you'd be out with him now instead of me, I know.
Bird isn't working tonight, Joe. He came home before we left there. I could have had dinner with him if I'd wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be like that, please.
Why shouldn't I be? While I was away, you and him became awful good friends.
We were always friends, the three of us. We grew up on the same block.
Yeah, but while I was away, he moved into your old man's rooming house so we could be closer friends.
Oh, don't start that again tonight. We're out for a pleasant evening, and it has been pleasant so far. Please, Joe.
All right. Comes out dessert.
Two plums pudding. And coffee.
You know, when you go out with me, Lottie, you're going to get class whether you think I can afford it or not. I'm going to take you to Danceland. I'm going to buy you a whole roll of tickets. Best you'd get out of that tightwad bird is a soda and a movie. All right, that's all I've got. Bring me a check, will you?
You said it, Joe.
All right, Joe, since you won't drop the subject, we'll talk about Bird.
Well,
He wants me to marry him.
figured that from that dirty double-crosser.
He isn't a double-crosser.
He knows I've been going with you since we were kids, that I've always been crazy about you. And while I was taking that bum rap on the reformatory...
You didn't take a bum rap, Joe. You asked for what you got.
All right, so the cops had the goods on me. So that gave Bird no right
It
to...
gave me a right to do a lot of thinking.
And so you decided a sneaky yellow drip like my cousin is a better bet than me, huh?
I don't think Bird is sneaky or yellow.
You don't, huh?
No. And I don't think you're a criminal.
Nice of you to say that.
I'm not being nice. I'm saying what I believe. If you make me sure you've learned your lesson,
Yeah?
well, you won't have to worry about me liking Bird or anyone. There's never really been anybody but you, Joe, only I've got to be sure.
How do I make you sure, Lottie?
Just show me and Dad that you're steady, that's all.
And I've been showing you that since I came back. Didn't I get a job right away?
Yes, Joe, but I don't see how you can afford those 2 new suits and that overcoat with what you're making.
Oh, I get it. Bird can buy clothes or take you out, and it's okay, isn't it? He's never had trouble with a cop. But the minute I spend an extra buck, you and your old man figure I've glommed it somewhere.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Your old man especially. Hates my insides. He don't want you to have anything to do with it.
If Dad hated you, he wouldn't let you stay at our rooming house.
He rents rooms and I pay for the one I rent. That's business. And to ease your mind about the extra dough I spent, Lottie, I'm a lucky guy with dice and a good pool player.
Here's your check, kid.
Thanks, Gus. Pay you so we can get out of here. We're going to Danceland. And what?
Joe?
I haven't got my wallet.
Oh, you lost your money?
I don't know. Maybe I left it home.
Well, phone Dad. He'll look in your room.
Well, if he found it, I'd have to go there for it. It's only a few blocks. You stay here, Lottie, while I go.
Oh, you don't have to leave the lady here, kid. You're an old customer. I know you come back and pay.
Well, thanks, Gus, but I can make better time alone. Hand him overcoat. Even that racket see blue in there.
Sure. Oh, it's a fancy coat. Nice and bright with red stripes. You got a class, kid.
Yeah, but right now I got no dough. I'll come back as soon as I can, Lottie.
I hope you find your money.
Yeah, I hope so, too. And how?
Gee, Casey, it's nice of you and Miss Williams to have Thanksgiving dinner here in the Blue Note with me.
Oh, we're nice people, Ethelbert.
Well, the very best. True, warm-hearted, and generous to a fault. Pass the salt.
Also honest, kind, and steadfast. Here's the salt. And pepper.
You know, we're really understating our sterling qualities, Aunt. We've risen to the heights of magnanimity, whatever that is, by chewing Thanksgiving turkey in this crummy joint we see every day, simply because our little pal here had to work. He could only get away from his bartending long enough to grab a meal on the house. We hope you appreciate our sacrifice, Ethelbert.
Oh, I do.
Good. You can pay for our dinner.
Yeah, well...
Tabasco, any?
Huh? Thanks. Hey, you've made a splendid suggestion, Casey. Paying our bill will relieve Ethelbert of a small part of his obligation for our company.
Say, come to think of it, you two are working today yourselves. You didn't have time to get a full meal any further away from your office than this crummy joint.
Ethelbert, You impugn our motives. He destroys my faith in human nature.
Yes. The spirit of the day is entirely lost upon this lug.
Casey, if you'd pay me what you already owe this crummy joint, I'd be only too happy to buy you dinner. Get it, Walter?
This guy's too wise for us, Annie.
I'm afraid so, Casey.
Casey.
Yeah, Walter?
You wanted the bar phone, you said dead.
Oh, nuts. I'm only just finished my turkey.
No, this means no dessert, Casey.
I'll see what Bert wants.
Well, stall him off if you can.
Yeah, I'll do my best, Annie. Oh, Grace. Hello, Casey speaking. Look, Bert, we haven't finished our dinner yet. Oh, all right. Wait till I get my pencil in. Corner of Whitestone and Evans. Well, what happened there? What, is that all? For a run-of-the-mill story like that, we gotta leave our dessert? Well, okay, Bert, all right, goodbye. Why I stick to this newspaper racket, I don't know.
What was it, Casey?
All the Look, we gotta get out to Whitestone and Evans, Ann. Some mug just held up a filling station there and got away with a couple of $100.
Did he shoot anyone?
No.
Huh?
Just one of those inside page fillers. Burke says news is light and we gotta cover it.
All right, where is Whitestone and Evans?
Way uptown, not far from Petrakis Olympian Restaurant. You know, we've eaten there a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember. Any description of the hold-up guy?
Yeah, he wore a flashy blue overcoat with red stripes. See you later, pal.
So long, Ethelbert.
So long. Hey, wait! Who's gonna pay for this? Crummy joint.
Here's what happened, Miss Williams. I'm working the station, see? I'm here in the office when this hold-up guy opens the door and says, "Give me your dough."
He had a gun, of course.
Oh, sure, he had a gun. The time was about 7:15. What did you notice about the guy aside from his flashy overcoat? Well, he wore his hat pulled down over his eyes and a handkerchief was tied around the lower part of his face. Also, he worked fast.
What'd he do?
Well, he told me to get into the gents' the restroom there and to keep quiet. He locked the door on me, and I heard him open up the money drawer there, and then I heard him leave the joint. I started pounding on the door, and after a while, I managed to bust out. That was about 7:45. And then I phoned the cop. You mind if I shoot a picture of that busted door, Sergeant? Go ahead, Casey. Thanks. You want to picture me, too, won't you, Mr. Casey? Huh? You? Oh, sure, yeah. The door and you. I'll shoot the door first. It's going to give me old lady a big kick to see me written up on the papers. Hey, is this big puddle of grease in front of this door, Jones, when the hold-up guy locked you in? Oh, yeah. I spilled it there earlier, and I didn't have time to clean it up. And the mug must have stepped in it, Casey. Along with the description of his flashy coat I sent out, I included instructions to look for a guy with dirty grease stains on his shoes. Well, the two things together ought to nail him, Sergeant. Yeah, I told the sergeant something else that ought to nail a guy. What's that? Well, one of the bills he stole out of the money drawer was an old 20 that had been torn in two and kind of stuck together with Scotch tape. I took it in just before the robbery, so I remember it. Well, looks like you caught plenty to work on, Sergeant. Yeah. Well, we got all there is, Annie. Blow out of here, get back to Blue Note, get some plum pudding and coffee.
Come on.
Hey, ain't you going to take my picture first? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll kind of stand here by the empty cash drawer and point my finger at it. Yeah, that'll be original. I'll stand and point, pal. Go ahead.
Great.
All set now. Shoot. Jones, get here. Hey, Gus, I'm getting a picture, so don't walk in front of the camera.
I just hear what happened to you. About the guy in the blue overcoat which hold you up.
Well, I'll tell you all about that later, Gus. As soon as I get my picture.
No, I tell you and those cops about it now.
You'll tell. Who are you?
Oh, I am Gus Nikopopoulos. I am waiter in Petrakis Olympian Restaurant 3 blocks from here. And I know who is the kid who robbed my good friend Jones.
You know?
Yeah, I know as soon as I am told the news about that fancy overcoat.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
I tell you cops everything. Even where to find this hold-up kid. He tell me he is going with his girl to Dunsland.
You got no right to pull me off that dance floor, copper.
Don't believe this waiter, Sergeant Joe hasn't held up anybody.
We're going to see about that. Close the door, will you, Casey? Okay, Sarge. Now, this overcoat we got from the check room, it's yours, isn't it, Bowers?
Yeah, that's my coat.
And you, Jones. Say the guy who stuck you up wore a coat just like it. It's the same coat, Sergeant.
You're nuts. The store I bought this blanket had a couple of dozen just like it.
Now, take it easy, kid. If your story's okay, we'll check on everyone who owns a coat like this. I'm going to search you. While I'm at it, you can tell us what you did after leaving Petrakis Restaurant. After you couldn't find your wallet, I mean.
I went straight to my room and house to look for my dough. Finally, I found it in the dresser drawer. And I came straight back to Petrakis for Lottie. That's Miss Newcomb here.
Yeah.
The dough's in that wallet you just took out of my pocket. It's about $40, and it's mine. I didn't steal it.
Hey, is that torn 20 in the wallet, Sergeant? No, Jones.
Torn 20?
I guess he hasn't got a gun on him either, Sergeant. He's clean, Casey. So are his shoes. Grease would show up plain on those light pants. Well, he may have changed shoes and hidden a few things. Yeah. How far is your rooming house from that filling station, kid?
It's 2 blocks away down Evans Street. My father runs it.
How long did Joe leave you in Petrakis while he was finding his money?
I didn't time it.
It wasn't more than 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour. So what?
So you had plenty of time to stick up Jones and go to your room before you came back to Petrakis.
All right, if that's the way you dope it, copper, search my room.
I'm going to do that little thing, young fella. All of you. Let's go.
Lottie, why have you and Joe come home with all these people and these policemen?
Everything's all right, Dad. They've made a mistake about Joe, but it's going to be all right.
A mistake about Joe?
A big mistake, Mr. Newcomb.
I don't understand.
I'm Sergeant Healy, 5th Detective District. There was a stick-up a few blocks from here tonight, and Joe Bowers here is under suspicion.
A stick-up? Joe?
He didn't do it, Dad. I know he didn't.
You were with him, Lottie. You must know.
Your daughter wasn't with him for a long half hour. Mr. Newcomb, I haven't taken time to get a search warrant, so I'd like your permission to go over Joe's room.
Give him a go-ahead. I have. He'll find nothing to tie me up with any heist job.
All right with you, sir?
Oh, yes, sir, of course.
Thanks. Take me to your room, Bowers.
Come on.
Everybody else stay here with this uniformed officer. Miss Williams and I'd like to go with you and Joe, Sarge. Okay, Casey.
Well, thanks, Doc. My room's on the next floor. It's right up those stairs.
Now, lead the way, kid. And don't try anything tricky.
Why should I try anything? All you got on me is that a stick-up guy wore an overcoat like mine. And that's all you're gonna get. There's the door of my room, copper. Open it. Make yourself at home.
Give me your key.
The door isn't locked. I never bother. I'll turn on the light. Now do your stuff.
I will.
You won't find anything locked up here. It's I got nothing worth stealing. And nothing to hide. Now, if you were going to work in my cousin's room across the hall, you'd need a fistful of keys. He's one of those careful, secretive guys.
You got a cousin living across the hall?
Yeah, his name's Ferdinand. And is he a crumb?
I take it you don't like him.
I like him about as much as he likes me. Maybe more. But he's been making a play for my girl. He isn't getting anywhere. How you doing, copper? You see anything of the dough I'm supposed to have stolen or the gat you think I used in that stick-up?
Not yet, kid.
And you won't. I'm 100% in the clear.
Oh, yeah? How did this get under your carpet?
What?
A torn $20 bill stuck together with Scotch tape.
I never saw that bill before.
And I think Jones will identify it as the one taken from his cash drawer. Wait a minute. There's more dough under this rug, Sarge. A couple of $100 at least. I spotted it, Casey.
I don't know how it got there. I didn't pull that stick-up.
That's a comedy, Joe. This money nails
This
you.
is a frame-up. I tell you, it's a
Where'd
frame-up.
you hide your gun?
I never had a gun. I swear I did.
Come clean, kid. Where's the gun?
Wait a minute. Will you give me a break? Let me think. Let me think a minute. Yeah, there's just one mug who'll pull a thing like this. And if you're right, guys, you won't let him get away with it. Question Ferd, Sergeant. Question my cousin Ferd. His room's right across the hall.
Might be a good idea, Sergeant. Okay. Let's go over.
There's the room. Yes?
I'd like to talk to you a minute. This is the police.
Just a second. I'm just starting to get ready for bed.
I'm Detective Sergeant Healy, young man. This is Miss Williams and, Mr. Casey. All right?
Hello there.
What do you want?
Let me close this door. Your cousin Joe here has made some accusations against you that it's my duty to investigate.
Oh, he has he?
Do you own an overcoat like Joe's here? Blue with, red stripes?
An overcoat like that?
Or have you ever worn one?
I wouldn't wear a zoot blanket like that if you paid me.
You say?
Yes, I say.
Mind if I look around your room?
Why?
Bert, someone wearing an overcoat like Joe's held up the Whitestone filling station tonight.
What? You know where I bought this coat, Ferd. I think you got one just like it on the QT. I think you slipped my wallet out of my pocket just before I left here with Lottie tonight, so I'd have to leave her and look for it. You were watching the rest, and when I left it, you went to that filling station. Why, you're crazy. Sergeant, you can't believe
Maybe
it.
I don't. But I want to search your room.
Oh, wait a minute.
Huh?
Have you got a search warrant?
No.
Hey, get out of here.
Say.
I know I write.
Unlike a certain relative of mine, I've got a clean record.
Who you calling a lousy
You,
rat?
Joe.
Why, I'm not
And
going
it's
to...
Cut it, both of you. So you don't want me to search your room, hey, young fella?
You heard me before, Sergeant.
Hey, pal, wait a minute. You're taking the wrong attitude. You got nothing to hide. This isn't the way to show it.
He's got a good reason for saying you can't search, and I'm going to prove it.
Keep out of that closet, Joe.
Hey, see if you can. I'll make you hold it first. Let me go.
Come on there, Joe. I'll get a warrant.
You won't need a warrant, Sarge. Look there.
What?
In the back of his closet, covered with other clothes.
Oh. An overcoat like yours.
Just like mine.
And in his pocket, there's a gun.
I never saw that coat before. I never saw that gun.
Well, somebody did. Come on. I'm taking you both to headquarters.
I don't know how that overcoat got in my closet, Sergeant. I swear I never saw it or that gun before.
So you've been staying for it. Both of you get into this car.
You did this to me, Joe.
Sure, I got wise to your frame up, you louse. I threw it right back at you.
We'll continue our discussion at the station house.
Of course, you'll only hold me long enough to get my testimony. I'll be back home in an hour or so.
Maybe. You and Miss Williams tagging along after us, Casey? No, Sarge. I may give you a buzz later, though.
We still have our Thanksgiving dinner to finish.
So why don't you two get jobs that won't make you work on holidays? Why don't you?
You mean like Captain Logan?
I've been thinking about it for the last 25 years. Good night.
Night,
So long.
Sergeant Healy. Come on, let's get into our car, Casey. And get our stuff to the
I'm
paper
going
and...
back to that rooming house, Andy.
Why?
Are you convinced that Cousin Bird framed Cousin Joe?
Well, his attempt to prevent a search of his room didn't look very good.
Annie, I'm just thinking.
Well, Joe found that overcoat with what might be called surprising ease.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe that Joe would invite his own arrest in order to frame his cousin. Why, one little slip.
Framer, whoever he is, did make a slip, Annie. His plan didn't anticipate a grease puddle. And he had to get rid of a pair of shoes that may walk back and kick him.
Well, none of the shoes in Joe's room or in Bird's had any grease stains on them.
No? Sergeant Healy hasn't forgotten those missing shoes, and he'll be back pretty soon to really look for them. So I'm going to start looking right now. I'll ring Newcomb's bell.
Sometimes I wish your snooping instincts were more restrained, Casey. I'd like a cup of coffee now and...
Hi, Mr. Newcomb. Mr. Casey? Yes. May we come in?
Of course, but
We didn't go with Sergeant Healy and his prisoners. Wanted to ask, how's your daughter now? She wasn't taking this thing very well when we left.
Oh, she feels terrible about it. Miss Williams, perhaps a woman can talk to her better than I can. Will you try to convince her that everything will come out all right?
Well, I'll gladly try, Mr. Newcomb.
She's in our private living room.
Yeah, go on in and talk to her alone, Annie. I'll stay here.
All right.
It breaks my heart to see my girl crying, Mr. Casey. She's all I have. She blames herself for what has happened. It isn't her fault that two young fools became so infatuated with her. I knew they hated each other, but I never anticipated anything like this.
No. Guess not.
Of course, you had some reason for coming back here, Mr. Casey.
Yes, I came back to ask your permission.
Yes?
I want permission to ask a few personal questions between ourselves and off the record.
Very well.
You haven't wanted Joe for a son-in-law, have you?
In my place, would you? The boy has served a reformatory sentence that, according to my observation, has failed to steady him or improve his sense of value.
Ferd has been Joe's opposite, I imagine.
He always seems so.
Lottie strikes me as a pretty sensible girl, Mr. Newcomb. Unless one of those fellas confesses he framed the other, or it can be definitely proven, she'll doubt both of them too much to marry either one of them.
Yes, I think that's so.
And as there'll be no confession or definite proof, things should work out exactly as you planned.
As I planned?
You're the guy behind this double frame-up.
Oh, Mr. Casey.
You didn't think I'd be back, did you? You shouldn't have changed back into those comfortable old shoes after Sergeant Healy left here. You did a lousy job of cleaning off that grease.
Oh, but
you held up that filling station and framed both the boys to keep your daughter from marrying either one of them.
I was very foolish, wasn't I?
Yes, I think so. Shall I call Sergeant Healy?
All right. You can call Sergeant Healy, Mr. Casey. I'm ready to confess.
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me take a close look at those shoes.
What?
pool of grease in that filling station you heard us talk about wasn't deep enough to reach far above the soles of a shoe. Hey, you greased those shoes yourself. You spread it on so thick it covers the toes and heels.
I didn't spread it up.
Hell, you're a beautiful liar. And I'm a beautiful dope. You greased those shoes and put them on knowing the cops would come back and spot them. You were willing to take the rap. Because your kid is in love with one of those punks.
You can't prove that. Nobody can. And when I confess, that's all that's needed.
You forget, the police lab will compare the grease on these shoes with a filling station grease, and it won't be the same. And then Sergeant Healy will go right back to work on Joe and Ferd.
The police laboratory can tell?
Yes, definitely, Mr. Newcomb. But if it couldn't, don't you think your confession would be much harder for your daughter to take than the loss of a little rat she thinks she cared for?
And I couldn't bear to see her cry anymore. All I could think of to do was what I tried. You see, I know the guilty boy, Mr. Casey, and she's loved Joe ever since they were children.
You know Joe?
I found his grease-stained shoes hidden in the cellar tonight. His taste in shoes is like his taste in overcoats, so I could make no mistake.
Huh? Well, let's get him and take him to the cops. Later, Mr. Newcomb, your daughter's going to realize that the lowdown she'll get on Joe tonight is a cause for real Thanksgiving.
So, the shoes fit Joe and he had to wear them, huh, Casey?
They pinched so tight he cracked wide open, Ethelbert. He admitted planting a duplicate of his coat in Ferd's closet, everything.
If his scheme had worked, Lottie would never have spoke to Ferd again and she'd have married Joe.
Well, that was Joe's idea, Ethelbert, but it worked out in reverse. Lottie sank into Ferd's manly arms when she heard the lowdown, and she seemed very comfortable.
Gee, what some guys will do for love. As my sister Edna says, quote, if love didn't make the world go round, there wouldn't be so much dizziness. Unquote.
Or so much niceness.
Yeah. A grand guy, Lottie's old man. Hey, Annie, what's the matter with us? We got plum pudding and coffee still coming to us. How about it, Ethelbert, huh?
Oh, how's about time?
Oh, what's so funny?
There isn't any more.
Crime Photographer, starring Stotts Cotsworth as Casey, is brought to you each Thursday by the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation, makers of Fire King Oven Glass, Anchor Glass Containers, Anchor Caps and Closures. All products of Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Photographer is directed by John Deep. The original music is by Archie Blyer, and the program features Miss Jan Miner as Anne and John Gibson as Ethelbert. Herman Chittison is the Blue Note pianist. If civilization is to survive, we must reaffirm our religious faith. It's up to each of us. Do your part by supporting and attending your church or synagogue. This is Tony Marvin saying goodnight for the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, with offices in all principal cities of the United States and Canada.
Casey, Crime Photographer from November 27th, 1947. Our next show, we played one last week on the Halloween show, and this is another Fibber, McGee, and Molly program for you. And this one's from November 22nd, 1949. And the title of this show is The Tax Bill Thanksgiving.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. Johnson's Wax and Johnson's self-polishing glow coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly. With Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Dick LeGrand, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. 2 weeks ago, we first announced the big news. Johnson's Glow Coat is now positively water repellent. At last, there's a self-polishing floor wax that does not streak nor leave ugly spots when you wipe up spilled things. Does not wipe off nor lose its shine when you mop it. Since that first announcement, thousands have asked, can I get the new Glow Coat now at my dealers? Well, the answer is yes. Every dealer is now completely stocked with the new water repellent Glow Coat. You'll find it in the same familiar yellow container with the bright red band. All you have to do is look for the name Glow Coat to be sure of getting the one self-polishing floor wax that is positively water repellent. It looks just the same on the outside. Oh, but what a wonderful improvement inside. Don't wait to give your floors this new protection. Tomorrow, get Johnson's new water repellent Glow Coat. It's at your dealers now in the regular Glow Coat package. Due to an error made by a late-for-a-date stenographer in typing out the governor's annual proclamation, today is Thanksgiving in Wistful Vista. But the squire of number 79 is in no mood for it. He just got his tax bill, and he thinks this is a day for vultures, not turkeys. Listen to him as we meet Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Why, look at this tax bill, will you? $124.68 taxes on real estate and property we already own. Is that robbery or ain't it?
It ain't.
Huh?
I mean, it isn't.
Well, that's better.
You know, that's $4 less than we paid last year.
My gosh, it ought to be less. It ought to be a lot less. Think of the depreciation. Think of the wear and tear. Think of the time I've...
Think of my eardrums and stop shouting.
Well, gee whiz, $124...
Look, sweetheart, you're a fine broth of a boy, but you woke up this morning full of croutons. Calm down, relax.
Baby, I woke up this morning full of gladness. I could hardly shave for laughing. I sang in the shower. I loved humanity. I was happy old McGee, the smiling elk. And then what happened? I get a tax bill for $124.68. For what? I ask you, for what?
McGee.
Huh?
You're awfully cute when your eyes flash fire like that. But I don't want you to scorch your eyelashes. Will you listen to Mother a minute?
Sure, but I warn you, I'm in a very unreasonable mood.
Yes, I know, but after all, this is Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, pada. Thanksgiving was all very well for an ignorant pilgrim. What taxes did he have on a little old homemade log cabin and a rusty blunderbuss?
Well, as long as you're so upset about expenses, you don't have to take me out for Thanksgiving dinner like you promised. I'll fix something at home.
Gee, you will?
Certainly. I'd love to do it.
Oh?
What do I care if I just got a new permanent and a facial and spent my month's allowance on a new hat and haven't got anything in the house to eat except some cabbage and a half a dozen weenies?
How we fix for mustard?
Our last drop of mustard went to the dry cleaners yesterday on your blue necktie.
Well, then we better eat out. I can't eat weenies without mustard.
Well, all right, but remember now, I fought to stay home.
I know, kiddo. The taxes are going to ruin us anyway, so we might as well go to the poorhouse in a cab. My gosh.
Come in. Well, heavenly days. Happy Thanksgiving, Doctor. McGee, it's Dr. Gamble.
Hello, my dear. And a happy Thanksgiving to you, too, turkey face.
Thank you, stuffing belt. And don't blather about Thanksgiving to me. I ain't in any mood for it.
Sonny, did I ever tell you about the time my aunt's cat fell into the vat of dill pickles?
No, you didn't, Doctor.
What that cat got to do with me?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all, except that you are the sourest puss I've seen since then.
Well, he's a little upset over his tax bill, Doctor.
A little upset? You know what my tax bill was, Fatso? $124.68.
Mine was $210 for the same size house.
Yeah, but you got a gravel driveway.
Now look, Schnook.
Yeah?
Must you always be beefing about something? You're a chronic complainer. You have the warm, human, emotional soul of a slag heap. By the way, Molly, speaking of slag heaps, I'll have to eat my Thanksgiving dinner at the hospital. May I drop in here afterward for a cup of your coffee?
Why, Doctor, we'd love to have you do that, except that McGee's taking me out to dinner. Where are we going, McGee, anyway?
Gus's. You can get a table-to-hote dinner there a la carte for $2 a throw.
A table-to-hote dinner a la carte?
Mm-hmm.
What'll they think of next?
I've never been there myself. Is it nice?
Nice? Why, my gosh, they even got a sextet of 5 fiddle players on the balcony. Playing the violin on cellos.
Yes, and the music is free. Strauss is on the house. Have fun, children.
Fun with a tax bill hanging over me for $124?
Now, please, McGee, please.
One word of advice, Grouch Bag.
Yeah, Snook.
I am an expert, more or less, on contagious diseases. According to my researches, one of the most infectious things in existence is a smile. It will hurt a little at first, but try one, son. Maybe you can start an epidemic. So long, Molly.
Good old Doc.
Shelley Nels for the orchestra and Bye Bye Baby. $124.68 taxes on this house. Why, the dirty highbinders? What do them bandits want? Blood?
No, I think they want money, McGee. The bill says
Maybe
they
they're
do.
just confused down there at that city hall. Maybe they think I want to buy this house. Maybe they don't know I already bought it and paid for it with my own sweat and tears.
Yes, sweat, tears, and a lucky raffle ticket, don't forget. As a matter of fact, McGee, this house only cost us $2, you know.
Oh, my gosh, that makes it even worse. $124.68 taxes on a $2 house. That's ridiculous. It's outrageous. It's unconstitutional.
It's Ole from the Elks Club. Come in.
Well, hello, McGee. Hello, Mrs. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Ole, and the same to you.
What's happy about it?
Look, I don't know that's eating you today, McGee. But I know today what Ole's eating. Turkey.
I won a turkey last week in the raffle, a 30-pound turkey.
My gosh, Ole, a 30-pounder.
That's what they say it weighs at the raffle. And I believe it, too. The bones alone must have weighed 28 pounds.
My goodness, your wife must be planning quite a dinner, Ole. Are you having some friends over?
No friends, Mrs. Just relatives. My sister-in-law, Julia, she's spending her vacation at our house.
Oh.
Well, she's got a good job in the city. She's a governess. I wish she'd go home and do it.
A governess? My gosh, married a governor, eh? Which governor did she latch on to?
No, McGee. A governess is a lady who, she stays with the family and takes care of the children.
Oh, a sitter.
You said something there, McGee. Since she comes 2 weeks ago, she don't stop sitting all day. In my easy chair.
Where does your sister-in-law work, Ole?
Oh, she works for an Irish family in the city, Mrs. You know, I had a big idea yesterday. After work, she goes home. But it ain't come out good.
Yeah? What'd you do, give her a hot foot? Why don't you try something subtle, like throwing her trunks out the window with her in them? That ought to get
Now, quiet, McGee, and listen to Ole.
What I did, Mrs., I called her up on the phone from the Elks Club, and I changed my voice with Irish dialect.
Oh?
Hello, I say. Julia, I say, this is your boss, Mr. Jan Ye O'Malley.
Jan Ye O'Malley?
Sure. Julia, I say, begorra, we just can't get along without her. So, will you please wash up your vacation in wistful whistle and come back on the yard? But it ain't work.
It don't work. Well, somebody must have tipped her off. Maybe one of the kids told her it was you. Say, how many kids you got at your house, Ole, anyhow? I know 2 of them, but there are more, aren't there? Because...
Oh, sure. Me and the missus, we got 3 kids now. We got another one on the way.
Oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know that, Ole. Another youngster on the way.
Yeah, my oldest boy, Lars, he's on the way from Chicago. So I go meet his train now. So long, Master.
So long, Ole. What was I doing when Ole come in here? Seems to me I was sore about them. That dad-ratted, pocket-picking, purse-snatching tax department. I'll say I'm sore.
Oh, now, McGee, don't get all worked up.
Boy, does this tax thing burn me up. Get your hat, kiddo. I'm going to get down to that city hall and...
The city hall, sweetheart, is closed today. This is Thanksgiving, remember? A day of smiles and sweetness and light. A day of joy and gratitude for our blessing.
Well, it shows what dirty cowards those guys are. Picking a legal holiday for me to open my tax bill that came yesterday on. They knew I'd have to have those...
Hello, Molly. Hi, pal. Happy Thanksgiving, kids.
And the same to you, Mr. Wilcox. Nice to see you.
Happy Thanksgiving, he says. Sure, it's a happy Thanksgiving for him. Has he seen our tax bill?
When I say happy Thanksgiving today, I'm not kidding, kids. I've got plenty to be thankful for.
Well, we all have, Mr. Wilcox.
Yeah, well, them tax bandits loose terrorizing innocent people with their big bills.
Yes, indeed, because with Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, the new water-repellent glow coat, I can really talk turkey to housewives these days.
Blah, cranberry sauce. Look, with conditions like they are...
Because, you see, here at last, kids, is a self-polishing floor wax that is positively water-repellent. A wax that stays on and stays bright even after repeated damp moppings.
Is it gravy repellent, too, Mr. Wilcox? Because lots of people will spill gravy today.
Absolutely, Molly, absolutely. With Johnson's new water and gravy-repellent glow coat on your floor's linoleum, you can wipe spilled things up with a damp cloth, or mop them up if you like, but you don't wipe the wax off your floor.
I'd like to wipe out that tax crowd because
glow coat stays on and stays bright longer. Not days longer, but weeks longer. So Johnson's new water-repellent glow coat. It's the finest. It is.
Look.
It's the last word.
Look. Please, Waxy.
I'm sorry, pal, but I got to get going. You see, my aunt is having 18 relatives over to her house tonight for a duck dinner. And I'm trying to think of a way.
A way to what?
Duck dinner. So long, kids.
That's cute.
How can that guy talk about food when the whole tax structure, the whole nation is tumbling down around his ears? The whole world in a turmoil, and Wilcox goes right on making a living.
For goodness sakes, McGee, forget it till tomorrow at least. This isn't going to wreck our whole world economy,
Well,
dearie.
it's the principle of the thing, Molly. $124.68 on a house that I only got an investment of $2 in. It's outrageous. It's exuberant, that's what it is.
Exorbitant.
I'm glad you agree with me. Why, this thing amounts to government conjugation of property, you know that? This could grow into... Where are you going?
Up to get dressed. It's nearly time to leave if we're going to Gus's for dinner.
Oh.
Now, you better get shaved, too, dearie.
Okay, Tootsie.
Have much time, you know.
In a minute. Ah, there goes a good kid. And steady as a rock. She knows the whole world is in a mess. Russia with the atom bomb. The pool table at the Elks with a 2-foot hole tore in the cloth. And me with a tax bill for $125. But is she worried? No, sir. When she gets hungry, she just... Come in.
Hi, mister.
Oh, it's you, Teeny. Well, come in if you want. But I warn you, I'm in a rotten humor.
Oh, that's okay, mister. Happy Thanksgiving, anyhow.
Well, happy Thanksgiving. I'm sore, sis, you understand?
Oh?
I'm steamed up like a clam dinner. If I was running this town, there'd be no taxes. I'm against taxes. Anyhow.
Gee, mister, our teacher was, too, yesterday, I betcha.
She was, eh?
She was,
I said she was, eh?
Who was?
Your teacher.
What's what?
Against taxes.
When?
Yesterday.
I know it. Willie Toops put him in her chair.
Huh?
They were thumb taxes. Only it wasn't her thumb that she...
No. Skip it.
Okay. Hey, mister, we had a wonderful play at school yesterday, I betcha.
You did?
Pilgrims and Indians. I was a beautiful pilgrim maiden.
Well, that's fine, sis. Now you're on along home.
Oh, I got time, mister. I'm in no hurry. I'll act it out for you. I'll act the whole play with all the parts.
No. Absolutely no.
Okay. Just the last scene. The big scene. I, the beautiful pilgrim maiden, am tied to a stake, see?
Yeah.
And the savage redskins, which they're the kindergarten kids with watercolors on their face, they're going to sculpture me.
Want what?
Sculpture me. Cut off my scalp with a willy hawk.
Tomahawk.
Tommy didn't have one, so he had to use Willie.
It's very uninteresting. Now, look, sis,
Willie comes sneaking through the forest with his trusty bow and arrow. Only Willie fell down, and the arrow flew out of his hand and shot the principal behind the potted palm. And the principal screamed and jumped on our teacher's foot, and she let go of the rope that holds the curtain up, and the curtain fell down and knocked one of the savage redskins into the front row in the school superintendent's lap. And broke his glasses. And now we got a new rule at our school. No more plays. Oh, mister.
So long.
The King's Men and the Last Mile Home.
You can travel around the globe and see a lot of things, from Mandalay to old Pompeii and Paris in the spring. But travel as you will, you'll only learn one thing. The longest mile is the last mile home. When you've been away, the dearest dreams are the dreams of home. When you've been away, you travel far over land and sea. Then one day it's as clear as can be. The longest mile you ever roam is the last mile home.
this is good food, McGee. I'm certainly glad you insisted we have our Thanksgiving dinner out.
Well, you know me, kiddo. You're a Lulu in the kitchen, but now and then I get hungry for a good restaurant-cooked meal. But I was telling you, but when I ate at the training table in my baseball days...
Well, Mr. and Mrs. McGee, is everything all right?
Just fine, thank you, Gus. This is a wonderful dinner.
Ought to be. $2 a throw.
Well, I'll be back pretty quick. Anything you want to speak up.
Okay, Gus.
What were you saying about your baseball days, McGee?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't get meals like this when I was in training.
Well, what'd you play? First base, wasn't it?
I was a pitcher. Manager of the team saw me standing around one day, and he says, "You pitch, don't you, Shorty?" And I said, "Sure." "How'd you know?" "Well," he says, "you're small and you got big ears, and little pitchers have got big ears, so go get into a uniform and let's see what you got." So as relief pitcher, I traveled all over with the team.
Southpaw?
No, Ma, mostly around the Middle West. I often wish I would have stayed a baseball player, Mrs. Bones. Baseball players don't get whammed with $125 tax bills. $124.
Hush, dearie, hush now. You're talking so loud people are looking.
Well, let them look. By George, one of these days, isn't that Latrivia sitting at the table behind the post there?
One of these days, it probably is.
Sure it is. Hey, Latrivia.
Why didn't you let the man finish his dinner? Hello, Your Honor. It's nice to see you.
Hello, Molly. Hello, McGee.
Latrivia, you're just the guy I wanted to see. Sit down.
Well, just for a moment. But please stop waving that piece of paper in my face.
That's no ordinary piece of paper, Mr. Mayor. That's a declaration of war.
Look at this tax bill, Latrivia. I want to protest. By George...
Please keep your voice down to a bellow, Mr. Mayor. May I apologize for breaking into your Thanksgiving with this silly tax business?
Oh, that's quite all right, Molly. As mayor of this city, it is my duty to listen to the protests of citizens at any time of the night or day, or on holidays. Holiday. I haven't had a decent holiday since Dr. Gamble took my appendix out.
Well, as the nurse said when she pulled the string out of the candle and told the patient to get out of bed, there's no wick for the rested.
Who was the patient?
And why were they using candles? Fuse blown out?
Of course not. That was just a kind of a gag saying.
If you will permit me to correct you, McGee, the saying is not no wick for the rested. It's no rest for the wicked.
That's right.
I know that. Doggone it. It was just a joke I made up.
A joke? A joke? I don't see anything funny in a nurse yanking a patient out of bed. Was it one of Gamble's cases?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a case at all. All I said
They
was...
don't use candles in Dr. Gamble's hospital, Mr. Mayor. Must have been some little bitty hospital because...
It was not a horse-related pipe, little ice pail. Aha, the candle. Look, Latriv, when you said...
I'm sorry. I'd like to stay and hear more about the way those nurses handle their patients.
I wasn't nursing about the kid in the panel. The patient in the candle. All I said was this whole thing started. That rather started. You said I went out with the horse. I was merely... I was... You... Latrivia?
Yes, McGee?
You going to be in your office tomorrow?
Are you coming in?
Yes.
No. Good day, Molly. Nice to see you.
Dearie, I must say this was no occasion to take up the matter of your tax bill with the mayor. This is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, fine Thanksgiving. With bankruptcy breathing down my neck.
Excuse me, please, Mr. McGee. You don't look happy about something. Is something the matter with dinner, maybe?
No, Gus, it was a beautiful dinner. Just lovely.
Good. How's about some nice desserts?
No, thanks, Gus. I'm too upset.
What's upsetting you, Mr. McGee? Is it anything I can do something about it?
I'm afraid not, Gus. Just take a look at this tax bill. $124.68 on a house we already own.
Good gracious, you own a house? Isn't that wonderful?
Wonderful? What's wonderful?
I'm trying to find a house for my wife and kids, but so far we're just living in a trailer.
Really, Gus? How many children have you?
Well, only 7, but they're very noisy. Like 8 or 9 sometimes. It must be very nice having a house, I think.
Yeah, but my gosh, Gus, 124...
I never forget when I get my citizenship. The judge says, Gus, he says, why you want to be a United States citizen? So I say, Judge, I say, for a big judge who asks very silly questions, I want to be a United States citizen because over here, nobody is saying, Gus, your papa was a shoemaker, so you got to be a shoemaker. Here, everybody can do what he wants to do. My kid is as good as anybody else's kid.
That's all very well.
When we come from old country in little freight boat, we see Statue of Liberty holding up a lamp. My wife, she gets tears. She says, Gus, that lamp is signing for people like us. We work hard here. We pay taxes with gladness, so that lamp is stay lit for other peoples. For us, Mr. McGee, is 365 Thanksgivings every year. No dessert?
No, thank you, Gus. No dessert.
Me either, Gus. Just give me the check.
Oh, it's no check today, Mr. McGee. For my friends, I start this business with help from people like you. You're good to me, and everybody is good to me. Thanksgiving is from me to you. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you very much, Gus. It was delightful.
Well, we see you next week, Gus. Come on, Molly.
Now then, what were we talking about, McGee?
This tax bill, $124.68. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I don't.
For a swell little house like ours, my gosh, it ought to be at least $200. I'm going to see the assessor tomorrow and see if I can...
Fibber and Molly return in a moment. It's the biggest news in floor care. It's the most important development in self-polishing floor waxes in the past 15 years. Johnson's new Glow Coat is now positively water repellent. It does not show ugly streaks or spots when you wipe up spilled things. Stays on, stays bright, even after repeated damp moppings. Now you don't have to re-wax your whole floor every time you spill something on it. Now you don't kill the shine of your bright waxed floor first time you mop it. Now you can get the new self-polishing floor wax that's positively water repellent. It's Johnson's new Glow Coat. Protect your floors from wear and water. Give yourself new freedom from floor care drudgery. Tomorrow, first thing, get Johnson's new water repellent Glow Coat. It's at your dealers in the familiar yellow container with the bright red band.
Well, that was a nice finish for a Thanksgiving day, McGee. Gus serves a fine meal, doesn't he?
I'll say I never walked in there yet, but I didn't waddle out. I think I'll get all his customers together and organize a PTU.
PTA, you mean?
PTA, yes.
You mean Parent Teachers Association?
No, Protruding Tummies of America. Good night.
Good night, all.
Don't spend hours cleaning and polishing your furniture for Thanksgiving. Get your furniture sparkling clean and shining bright with one application of Johnson's Cream Furniture Wax. It's the fastest wax furniture polish money can buy. In fact, Johnson's Cream Wax cleans so quickly, polishes so quickly, that using it is almost as easy as dusting. A few strokes with a cloth gets furniture clean, a few more, and it's polished to gleaming brightness. And Johnson's Cream Wax contains no sticky oils to catch dust. This week, speed Thanksgiving cleaning with the fastest wax furniture polish money can buy. Get Johnson's Cream Wax.
November 22nd, 1949, the Fibber, McGee and Molly Show. A couple side notes on this. You may have heard Mayor Trivia there and may have recognized the voice of Gail Gordon. He's most noted for his work with Lucille Ball on Here's Lucy and the Lucy Show back in the 60s as Lucy's boss in one particular instance, Mr. Mooney. And our next program is a spin-off from the Fibber, McGee and Molly Show called The Great Gildersleeve. And Gildersleeve was a character on the Fibber, McGee and Molly Show from the late 30s to around 1941 when he got his own radio program of his own. This program is from November 16th, 1941, and it's entitled Serviceman for Thanksgiving.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time from Hollywood, California, Kraft presents Harold Terry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, remember the saying, an army marches on its stomach? Well, nowadays, battles are won not by armies alone, but by entire populations. For total defense, we all must have plenty of the right kind of food. That means wholesome, nourishing food. Food that produces the energy we use up in hard work and play. That's why Parquet margarine, the quality margarine made by Kraft, should be an important item on your shopping list. Because Parquet margarine is an economical source of important food elements we all need. Parquet margarine not only has delicious flavor that makes it a favorite for table use, baking, and pan frying, Parquet margarine is a highly nutritious food, one of the best energy foods you can serve. What's more, every pound of Parquet contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So why not give your family the benefits of this wholesome, nourishing food and start serving them Parquet margarine now? They'll like its flavor. You'll know it's good for them. So tomorrow, ask your dealer for Parquet, Parkay. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Well, my goodness, Bertie, the ashtrays are all empty for once. What is this, some special occasion?
For me it is, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'd like to have the evening off.
Oh, is this your night to leave early?
No, sir, but I'd sort of like to get an advance on next week's night off.
Oh, any reason why not, Marjorie?
Oh, not at all. Go ahead, Bertie.
Thanks. I wouldn't ask, only we've got spectacular things tonight down at our lodge.
Oh.
That's the mysterious and bewildering orders of the daughters of Cleopatra.
Yeah, Bertie's the head sphinx.
Not no more, Leroy. I'm now the exhausted ruler of the pyramid. I've been promoted.
Yeah, I see. Does that make you the head man?
No, sir. I'm practically a stowaway on the royal barge of the ancient Nile. And ahead of me comes the major domus of the outer chamber of the inner sanctum.
Yeah.
Then the chief searcher in the bulrushes for the daughters of Pharaoh.
Oh, yeah.
And above her comes the royal rejecter of delinquent daughters.
Well, isn't there a queen, Bertie?
Mr. Gildersleeve, in our organization, every gal's a queen.
Oh, my pardon.
Oh, what are you holding tonight, Bertie? An initiation?
No, ma'am. It's the red, white, and blue fish fry in order of, to honor a group of our visiting soldier boys.
Oh, yeah.
The daughters of Cleopatra is all 100% Americans.
Well, that's a fine thing, Bertie, entertaining your soldier friends.
Yes, sir. We've even hired a military jitterbug band. The brown-skinned boogie-woogie bugle boys.
Well, go right ahead. And if you want to take anything from the pantry for the fish fry, help yourself, Bertie.
Yes.
You may want to broil a couple of cans of sardines.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Say, Unc, you know something?
Leroy, I wish you wouldn't keep using that expression. Of course I know something. But what is it?
Well, I was reading in the paper where there's going to be about 1,000 soldiers in Summerfield over Thanksgiving.
Yes?
Well, let me see. Yeah, here it is.
Well, City will play host to 32nd Regiment Thursday. USO urges all citizens to invite Army men to dinner.
That's what I mean. Can we have a soldier for our Thanksgiving dinner, Uncle Mort?
Leroy, you sound like a cannibal.
Leroy, you mean can we invite a soldier to come to dinner?
Yes, and I think it's a splendid idea.
Oh, then we're going to have one?
Why, of course. When I think of all those boys, many of them so far away from home, It takes me back to the lonesome Thanksgiving I spent in an Army hospital back in 1918.
Gee, Unc, I never knew you were wounded.
Well, it's something I never talk about.
Oh, what happened to you, Uncle Mort?
I was kicked by a mule.
Where were you kicked, Uncle?
In the customary place. That mule kicked me so high they gave me a pilot's license. I spent 3 weeks in bed, flat on my stomach. In those days, I had a flat stomach. But remember, kiddies, never mention a word of this to anybody. It's still a painful subject. Even now, I twitch when I pass a mule.
Gee, Uncle Mort, where did this happen? In France?
No, Leroy, in Missouri. I was buying mules for the Army. Sort of talent scout for jackasses. Yeah. Well, anyway, I got 9,000 of them before one of them got me.
Say, I never knew you knew anything about mules.
Oh, yes, Leroy. I had quite an asinine education. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. Let's forget it, children.
Yes. Does that paper say how we go about inviting a soldier for dinner?
Inviting? Let me see. Oh, yes, here it is. Patriotic families who wish to share their Thanksgiving dinner with members of the Army are requested to be at Bacon Square, opposite the City Hall, before noon Thursday to pick up their dinner guests. The Army men will be bivouacked at the square.
What's bivouacked, Uncle?
A bivouac is a place where barking dogs are cooled off in pup tents. Yes, I got to remember that. Also that word.
Well, then it's very simple.
Huh?
Just one more for dinner Thursday.
Yeah.
You can drive down in the morning and pick up one of the boys, Uncle.
Gee, that's going to be keen.
We better ask Bertie if it's all right with her first, though. Bertie!
Yes, it's all right with me.
That woman's wasting her time as a cook. She could get a job as an airplane detector.
Say, I have a better idea. Let's have a real celebration. We'll get a couple of extra turkeys and invite 8 or 10 boys.
8 or 10? Won't that be too much trouble, Marjorie?
Oh, no. I'll ask some of my girlfriends to come over.
Girlfriends? Oh, by all means. That'll be jolly for the soldiers, too.
Oh, gee, Unc, the whole idea sounded great till you brought in the girls. Do we have to have girls?
Why not, Leroy?
Yes, what's wrong with them?
Jeepers, don't you think those soldiers are doing enough for their country as it is without wasting their day off with a bunch of silly girls?
And in conclusion, fellow citizens of Summerfield, let me urge you once more on the eve of Thanksgiving to open your hearts and your homes tomorrow to the soldiers visiting our fair city. Yep. Quit popping your bubble gum, Leroy, especially while I'm rehearsing my radio speech.
Oh, I'm sorry, Unc. I'm doing it unconscious.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Young man, if you keep playing with your gum that way, someday you're going to have a blowout. And remember, you haven't got a spare face.
Finish your talk, please, Uncle Mort.
Well, I don't need to rehearse it anymore, Marjorie. I know that speech backwards.
You do? Let's hear it. I bet it sounds even better backwards.
Yep. Leroy, you keep that up and you're going to get some applause backwards.
I think it's wonderful of you, Uncle Mort, to go on the air tonight and urge everyone to entertain the soldiers.
Well, people have always told me I should be on the radio. They say I sound just like that fellow who used to be with Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Oh, that's probably some of the girls now.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, yeah. Cute, aren't they?
Uncle Mort, I want you to meet Betty Wilkins and Mildred Sherman.
Hello, Well, what lovely friends you have, Margie. You should invite them here oftener. Much oftener.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Not at all, my dear. I've always had an eye for redheads.
But Uncle Mort, last year she was a blonde.
Yes. I see. She's got a convertible top.
Mr. Gildersleeve, all of us girls think you're simply too tremendous starting these soldier parties. Oh, he ain't so tremendous. It's that suit he's wearing.
Well, I like him just the way he is, especially that straight military bearing.
Yeah.
After all, he was an army man, you know.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
What branch of the service were you in?
You flew, didn't you?
For a short time.
plane did you use?
A plane? It's an old Jenny.
And you were wounded, too, weren't you? Oh, dear. Whereabouts were you wounded, Major Gildersleeve? At the front?
No, it was in the...
Leroy.
I was just going to tell him it was in the middle of...
Leroy!
But, Unc, you told me yourself you were wounded right smack in the middle of Missouri.
Oh. Yes, that's right, in Jefferson City, Mo.
But even so, you were lucky to have recovered.
Yes. Everybody said I had a horseshoe in my hip pocket. I didn't get rid of it either till they operated.
Well, what were you doing in the Army when you weren't flying, Major?
Well, I was sort of a recruiting officer. Yes, I brought more than 9,000 recruits into the field artillery alone. I got a kick out of it, too.
I imagine that must have been a lot of fun.
Fun? Well, only at the beginning, my dear. I got awfully tired in the end.
Say, Uncle, isn't it time for you to go to the radio station?
By George, you're right, Marjorie. Leroy, you want to come along?
Well, I'd like to, Unc, but I got a little surprise of my own for tomorrow. I'm going over to Piggy Banks' house.
Say, while you're there, Leroy, remind Piggy's sister Penny about coming tomorrow.
If you mean that Piggy Banks has a sister named Penny Banks?
Yes. She was named after her Aunt Penelope, who lived in Indiana. Auntie is one of the...
Don't tell me, Marjorie, I know. One of the Banks of the Wabash.
Look, Piggy, how's about lending me your bugle?
Oh, I don't know, Meatball. What you want with it?
I need it for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Oh, you got the wrong instrument. On Thanksgiving, you play with drumsticks. Now beat it.
Oh, for corn's sake. Look, Pig, the reason I want it is because we're going to have a lot of soldiers for dinner.
So what? We're having our cousin Rockwell. He's a city alderman.
Oh, what's a measly old alderman? My uncle used to be a big shot in the Army. A major in the Missouri Mules.
What you mean?
Oh, that's what they called his outfit. Say, he recruited the toughest, meanest, fightingest outfit that ever come out of Missouri.
What kind of outfit was it?
A field artillery. You know, the cannoneers with hairy ears.
Do they really have hairy ears?
Oh, brother.
I still can't see that this got anything to do with borrowing my bugle.
Gee, you're dumb. I gotta make these soldiers feel at home so they can enjoy the turkey dinner. I'm gonna blow mess call on your bugle.
Oh, I get you. That's a keen idea, Meatball.
Now will you lend it to me?
Sure.
Swell. Now there's only one thing I gotta do.
What's that?
I gotta learn how to play a bugle.
My, those turkeys sure look good, Bertie. You don't happen to have a spare leg, do you?
No, sir, but I sure could use one with all the running around I got to do.
No, Bertie, I mean a spare turkey leg.
No, sir. I ain't going to subdivide none of them birds before the 0 hour.
Oh.
And when I serve them, they're going to be intact. A thing of beauty and a joy for about 2 minutes.
Yeah. How about some stuffing, then?
Nobody's going to do no stuffing nohow till everybody does.
Yes.
And that includes stuffing yourself with stuffed olives, too.
Oh, yeah. You talking to me?
Yes, sir. I've hardly got enough olives now to spell out welcome 32nd Regiment into mashed potatoes.
Huh?
You know, people have been coming to the door all morning asking for soldiers for dinner just because you went on the radio last night.
Yeah, but I told them to go down to Bacon Square. Jumping jeeps? What's that?
Oh, it sounded like it came from the living room.
Well, it can't be anything serious. Then again, maybe it can. I'll find out right away. Leroy! What are you doing?
Learn how to blow mess call, Unc.
Was that mess call? Sounded more like a moose call.
Boy, won't those soldiers be surprised when they hear me blowing the bugle?
Yeah, and won't you, too?
Oh, gee, give me a little time. All I need is practice.
Yeah?
I heard in school that Grace Moore practices 6 hours a day.
Yeah, a lot of good it does her. I bet she still can't play the bugle. Well, it's a sweet thought, Leroy, even if your music is sour. Oh, there's a doorbell. I'll get it, folks. Yes?
Excuse me, please. Is this the gentleman who was speaking last night by the radio from Soldiers for Thanksgiving?
Yes, madam.
Well, permit me to introduce myself. Mrs. Shapiro, glad to meet you.
How do you do, Mrs. Shapiro? Glad to meet you. What can I do for you?
Well, I got right now in the oven a nice young kosher turkey, and I am wanting a soldier who is likewise.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Shapiro, but I haven't anything to do with these soldiers officially. You'll find them down at Bacon Square.
Please. If the soldier boy I'm looking for is at Bacon Square, then he's not the soldier boy I'm looking for. Goodbye.
Huh? You started downtown yet? You better get going. It's almost 12.
Oh, all right, just as soon as I get my coat and hat. And Leroy. Leroy, come on if you're going downtown with me.
Okay, here I come.
Oh, stop that for a little. Young man, what are you doing swimming around in my old Army uniform?
Gee, Unc, that's part of the surprise. How do I look?
You and the mothballs look fine.
Oh, girls, come in here and see Leroy.
Looks cute at that.
Look, he's got Uncle's uniform on, and it's all pinned up. Isn't it cute the way the breeches almost reach to the floor and back?
Oh, Major Gildersleeve, why don't you put it on?
Oh, I'm sorry, girls. But I couldn't get into that uniform if it were 3 times as big as it is now and I was twice as small as I am. Which would still be half again as large as the suit would be if it were double the size of what it is now, which it isn't, thank goodness, because if it was, I'd have to wear it, and I can't because it doesn't fit. Leroy, with all those girls coming over to our house this afternoon, I'm going to have to ask for about 12 soldiers instead of 8.
Oh, that'll be super, Unc.
Huh?
Say, look at all those tents. Gee, where are all the soldiers?
Oh, they must be inside.
Say, you don't think they've all been invited out already, do you?
Leroy, you get the most fantastic ideas. Hello, where is everybody? How do you knock on a pub tent?
There's nobody in here, Unc.
Oh, my goodness, nobody home. Leroy, get away from that cannon before it goes off and takes you with it. Why did we wait so long? If all these pup tents are empty, I'm certainly going to be in the doghouse.
Hey, Uncle Mort, here comes a soldier. Shall we invite him?
Yes, of course. Soldier?
Yeah?
How would you like to come over to my house for dinner now?
Oh, I don't know.
We're going to have a...
Hey, wait a minute. You leave this boy alone. He's coming home to dinner with me.
Is that so? Don't you try to rustle my recruit. I saw him first.
Oh, no, you didn't. I saw him first.
You did not. I saw him at least 20 seconds before you did.
Mister, I saw this boy 20 years before you did. He's my son.
You...
Come on, boy. Mom's waiting.
Yeah, Mom's waiting. Oh, my goodness. Leroy, if I don't bring back a bevy of boys for that gang of girls, my goose will be cooked instead of my turkeys.
Hey, let's look in this big tent. Maybe somebody's here.
Huh?
Oh, hello, mister.
Hello.
This is the mess tent, Leroy. Hello, Sergeant. Leroy, this is the mess sergeant. Where can I find some of your boarders, Sergeant?
They've deserted me. And after I've been working my fingers to the bone over a hot stove all morning.
Oh.
You mean they've all been invited to homes already?
Everybody, including my dishwashers.
Oh, Leroy, we're sunk.
You're sunk? What about me? 50 gallons of the finest turkey a la king made from a special recipe created by Prudence Penny. 20 dozen dainty Parker House rolls that couldn't be topped by Parker House himself. And 32 mince pies made out of the tenderest part of the mince.
Yeah. Well, I can sympathize with you, Sergeant, but maybe you can help us.
How?
Well, it just so happens that we've gotten ourselves into something of a mess, Sergeant. We have 3 turkeys and almost a dozen beautiful girls at our house, just waiting to entertain some soldiers.
Yeah, you should see the cookies that are waiting for the rookies.
You'd have a wonderful time at our house, Sarge. How about taking off that apron and coming with us?
I'm sorry, sir, but I'm on duty.
Yeah?
Like the captain of a ship, everybody else can leave. But I gotta get down with me pot.
Gee, that's too bad. Come on, Unc.
Before you go, I got just one slight request I'd like to make. Would you please take a taste of my turkey a la king?
Well, I don't think
Oh, come on. Huh? Just one teensy-weensy little taste.
Well.
Just so I didn't labor all morning in vain. Here.
Conscientious, isn't he, Leroy? Well, thank you.
You have some, son?
Thank you, but it'll spoil my appetite for dinner. And I've been saving this appetite for a week.
How do you like it, mister?
Well, I think I'll have a little more.
Oh, no, Uncle Mort. Come on, we gotta dig up some soldiers.
You're right, Leroy. Are you sure you won't come with us, Sarge?
No, buddy. Duty is duty. And besides, the colonel would be sure to catch me if I sneaked out.
Oh, the colonel. I'll bet he's got a few soldiers up his sleeve. Where can I find him?
Way over there at the other end of the square, sitting in his tent.
Yes. Well, come on, Leroy. We'll lay our troubles in his lap.
Yes, I'm Colonel Atterbury. What can I do for you?
Colonel, my name is Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes, very unusual name. What can I do for you?
Colonel? I have a lovely big home, a wonderful cook, and a dozen of the sweetest girls in Summerfield.
What, no boys?
No. That's the trouble. No boys. We get all prepared to entertain 10 or 12 soldiers at dinner today, and when I come down to pick them up, what do I find? No soldiers. Not a single solitary rear-rank third assistant buck private.
Well, I'm sorry.
Sorry, he gargles. By George, this is a pretty pickle for our army to get itself caught over a barrel into.
Yeah, and after I've been practicing mess calls all day, too.
Yes, the poor little fellow almost blew his brains out.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Gildersleeve.
So I think I know you from someplace. Huh?
Yes?
Yes, I can't place your face, but your manners are awfully familiar.
Yeah.
Well, never mind. As soon as some of our men return, I'll send them out to your house. Huh?
That's just the old brush-off. I'm just stubborn enough to stay right
Stubborn?
here.
That's it. I've got it.
Huh?
Mules. That's where I know you from. You were stuck again, Gildersleeve. The officer who bought more bad mules than the whole artillery could shake a stick at.
Why, you... Don't pay any attention to the way he jokes, Leroy. Great kidders, these Army men. Well, Colonel, now that you recognize me, I hope you'll trot out some suitable recruits for us to take home.
Gildersleeve, I've got just the right detachment for you.
Wonderful. Who are they?
Some old friends of yours. A whole corral full of mules. They just love to be your guests.
Come on, Leroy. Let's get out of here.
What am I laughing at? Darn it. Wish you'd invited me to go to dinner today.
Leroy, you better run along home now and tell the girls I'll bring back some soldiers if I have to call out the Marines.
Okay, Uncle, where are you going now?
I'm going to try the USO headquarters. And if you see any soldiers on the way home, grab them, even if they're wearing Civil War uniforms.
I'll do my best, Uncle Mort. See you when you get home.
Yeah, all right, Leroy. Look who's standing on the corner. Well, hello, Judge Hooker.
Hello, Gildersleeve.
What's wrong? You look as though you've lost your last friend. But, of course, I know that happened years ago.
Gildersleeve, I'll thank you to keep your nose out of my business.
I'll be only too glad to. What are you doing hanging around street corners?
Well, it's a long story.
Huh?
I happened to turn on the radio at home last night, and there was a fellow urging everyone to invite a soldier to dinner.
Oh, he did.
That speaker. There's a man. The way he told every citizen to do his duty by our new army was stirring and inspirational.
It was,
Yes. Why, the first thing I did this morning was phone the best restaurant in town and order the most expensive turkey dinner out to my house. I was going to invite a soldier to share it. That's the effect that speaker had on me.
Well, where is your soldier?
Well, that's where the trouble comes in. People at the USO headquarters tell me that there would have been plenty of them to go around if this radio speaker hadn't wrecked all their plans by urging everybody in town to come down after a soldier.
Oh, my goodness. So that was it. Of all the numbskull notions...
Not a word against that man, Gildersleeve.
Huh?
He made a wonderful impression on me. Clean-cut, vibrant personality. One of nature's noblemen, I should judge. Wish I could meet him someday.
Would you really want to?
Yes.
Well, then shake hands.
Oh, you'd like to meet him, too?
Good gracious, no, I am him.
What? You? Why, you hypocritical hippopotamus.
What?
No, that's wrong with me. I've misjudged you, Gildersleeve.
Well, I guess I've misjudged you too, Judge Hooker. I never thought you had a heart under that old thick hide of yours.
No?
No. I just thought your blood circulated because you brought it to a boil so often.
What are you doing roaming the streets on Thanksgiving afternoon, Gildy?
Yeah, same thing as you are, Hooker. Looking for some military men to fight their way through a couple of 20-pound turkeys.
Well, suppose we do our hunting together, Gildy, old pal.
Why not, old chum? After all, this is Thanksgiving Day, and we should treat each other like human beings for change.
Splendid. That goes for me, too. At least for today.
Yeah, well, come on. You work this side of the street, and I'll take the other side.
All right.
Oh, boy. Wait a moment.
What is it?
Look, here comes a young fellow in uniform now. And I saw him first.
Yes, that's so. Hey, son, come here.
Stop that, you double-crossing little botfly.
Young man, how'd you like a delicious turkey dinner?
Huh? Who, me?
Yes, he wants you to come up to my house.
I don't either. I'm in my house. I've got a great big turkey just for two of us.
We got 4 turkeys at our house, and we'll give you a whole one for yourself, son.
Oh, gee whiz, I couldn't eat that much. And besides, I'm supposed to report to USO headquarters.
They're closed for the day, Corporal. Come on out to my house.
Oh, but I'm not a corporal.
Of course not, Sergeant. Now, my car's right over here. So if you'll excuse us, Judge.
Nope. Come this way with me, Lieutenant.
You wouldn't like it at his place, Captain.
Oh, now, gentlemen, please, let go of me. Hey, you're tearing my uniform.
Let go of the Major's uniform. Yeah. Let's trot along.
Okay, if you want to get indigestion. Now, my turkey is...
His turkey is as old as he is and just as tough.
Hey, I wish somebody would tell me what this is all about.
Don't let him confuse you, son. I'll take you to a movie after dinner.
A movie? We're going to have dancing at our house. You'll have 12 beautiful hostesses to dance with.
Oh, who wants to dance on a full stomach?
You do, don't you, son?
Well, gee, I don't know. I never learned.
No time like right after dinner. Come on, that's my car right over there.
Of all the low-down, backbiting, double-dyed, unscrupulous louses, I've had enough. Come back here, young man.
Who, me?
Yes, you. I'm going to start off entertaining you this afternoon by making this fat worm fold up like a road map. Here, hold my coat.
I'll be very glad to. No, I won't. Now, see here, Hooker. You point a pinky at me, and I'll beat the daylights out of you and then back in again.
Hey, gee, aren't you two fellas a little too old for this sort of thing?
If you keep out of this. Who invited you to... Say, I invited you. Come on, let's go home.
No, you don't, Gildersleeve. I'm going to knock you colder than an Eskimo mother-in-law's kiss.
Why, you old... Oh. What's the use of quarreling like this? If you've got your heart set on taking this young man home, Judge, I won't stand in your way.
Yeah, but haven't I anything to say?
Nope. Gildersleeve, do you mean this?
Yes, Judge. Go on, get your car. Hurry up now before I change my mind.
All right. You just wait right here, soldier. I'll be back in a jiffy, and then we'll have a wonderful dinner.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, Gildy.
Yeah.
Gee whiz, mister. You got me all confused. Do I have to have dinner with that other gentleman?
With that old goat? Of course not.
Huh?
Wait till he turns the corner. All right, come on now. Run like anything.
But the judge went that way.
I know that. My car's this way. Hurry up, boy.
Huh?
Oh, at last. There they are now. Come on, girls. Let's go to the front door. Come on. Bertie, get things ready. Leroy, there's your cue.
Yeah, well. Here we are at last. Step right in, son, and meet everybody.
Gee, thanks.
Girls, this is Jerry Arnold, Private Jerry Arnold of the United States Army.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, you're not a private?
Oh, no, sir. I'm not even in the Army.
What? You're not?
Why, no, sir. I'm a Boy Scout.
Oh!
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But right now, whether you celebrate Thanksgiving next Thursday or the week after, there's one thing that's the same everywhere. Yes, that turkey's going to taste mighty good with all its trimmings and fixings. And we all want to remember that we Americans still have plenty to be thankful for. And another thing that's certain, if you make your Thanksgiving cakes and pastries and cookies with Parquet margarine, you're going to get plenty of compliments on their downright good taste. You see, the delicious flavor that makes Parquet margarine so popular for table use makes it wonderful for baking, too. Yes, as sure as Parquet is a delicious spread, it's a genuine flavor shortening, too, not a bland, tasteless fat. Parquet adds flavor to pan-fried foods, too, and it doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. So serve Parquet margarine at the table, use it for baking and pan-frying, too. Remember, you can use all you want, because Parquet margarine is economical and good for your family. Yes, Parquet margarine is a wholesome, nourishing energy food and a reliable source of vitamin A. So right now, add Parquet margarine to your shopping list. Remember, it's Parquet, P-A-R-K-A-Y.
Sorry, our time's up. Happy Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
And from November 16th, 1941, the great Gildersleeve, here on Old Time Radio with Rick. And we have one more program to bring you today, and this one's called Jeff Regan, The Lion's Eye. And it stars Jack Webb in a series he done before, Dragnet on the radio. So, very interesting program. It's a detective kind of story here. And this is from November 20th, 1948, and it is entitled Pilgrim's Progress.
My name's Regan. I get 10 a day and expenses from a detective bureau run by a guy named Anthony J. Lyon. They call me the Lion's Eye.
With Jack Webb as Jeff Regan, the Lion's Eye, stand by for hard-boiled action and mystery and thrilling adventure in tonight's story of the Pilgrim's Progress.
The Cosmopolitan Building, 7th Street near Olive, downtown L.A. A mess of granite thrown together by an architect who must have taken his degree on the rock pile at Leavenworth. It's up on the 3rd floor, room 308, right next to a credit dentist who shares his office with a collection agency. On the other side, there's a school for models, and the Lion's got sore eyes trying to see through that cloudy glass. International Detective Bureau, Anthony J. Lyon, President. He's also Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer. I work for him. Well, the office isn't much, but there's enough elbow room for a client to write a check. I went to the office Friday night about 5:20, answering the Lion's call. He was sitting behind the desk, sucking on a quarter cigar. He looked real pleased, like a fat lady locked in a cream puff factory.
Man I know had a baby. Plumber named Broman or Groman or something like that.
Muzzle tough.
Cancel any arrangements you got for the night. I got something for you to do. Got your car?
It's in the lot.
Gas it up. You're taking a trip.
Where to?
Calabasas. A man wants to see you.
I got no friends out there.
Friend of mine named Hendricks. He counts his money with an adding machine, and his finger's always swollen.
What's the problem?
I don't know. He didn't say. He just called and told me to send out a man.
How much did he give you for a retainer?
When an important man like Hendricks calls, you don't insult him by asking for money.
Oh, stop it, will you? You're the kind of guy who'd steal pennies out of parking meters.
That's enough, Regan.
If one of them turned up empty, you'd sue the city.
Here's the Hendricks address. Now get out there.
All right.
Regan.
Yeah?
Remember, do a good job, and I'll give you Thanksgiving off, and I'll pay you.
With what, cranberries? Well, I headed out Beverly and then up through Hollywood. You know, it's only November, but Santa Claus is breaking out all over the boulevard. I fought my way over Cahuenga Pass, and by the time I was dodging station wagons on Ventura, it was dark. Calabasas is a place with a couple of service stations, a hot dog stand, and a few road signs full of buckshot. The Hendricks place turned out to be about 5 miles down a road that the Indians built for hauling firewater. I guess they couldn't keep the cork in. But the house itself was strictly prohibition stuff. Big pile of slate roof and leaded windows. It looked dark and lonesome. I figured somebody had their holidays mixed.
Hiya, Pilgrim.
It was a big fat guy. He was holding a 6-foot gun in the shape of a straightened-out tuba. He came closer, and I could see his hat. It was a high one with a buckle on it. He was dressed in black, and he had buckles all over him. I figured that I'd been eating too much Quaker Oats.
What's the matter, Pilgrim? A little shooting make you nervous?
That's a big gun there.
Shoots musket balls. Good for Indians.
Well, I'm no Indian.
Well, I wasn't aiming at you.
Well, that gun wouldn't know the difference.
It's a blunderbuss. Great weapon.
Is it?
I'll show you. Here, you prop it up on a crutch.
Just keep fooling with that thing, and we'll both need one.
Now, let's be quiet there. Load the barrel with lots of powder.
Look, why don't you give that thing back to the museum?
He does this. It's more powder. Gotta use lots of this black powder.
Buster, you need black coffee. Come on, give me that thing before it blows up in your face. You broke a window.
Oh, it's all right. It was only the attic.
You live here?
Of course not, Pilgrim. I'm Miles Standish.
Well, where's the rest of the party?
All inside, talking to John Olden.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you just think I'm kidding, don't you? Pilgrim, you just haven't got the Mayflower spirit.
No, you drank it all.
It's just cider. Nothing better on a cold New England night.
Thanksgiving's not for a week. Come on, get off it.
Hark.
What's the matter? Put that down.
I'm not going to shoot him. He's a friendly type.
Brother Regan?
Yeah?
If thou wilt follow me, please.
Oh, you too, huh?
I beg your pardon?
Okay.
Well, so long, Pilgrim.
Yeah, keep your powder dry, Standy.
I'll see you on Plymouth Rock.
Okay, this way, Brother Regan.
Now, look, Sunshine, you work here.
My name is Phelps.
Why don't you lock that guy up?
I'd be outnumbered, sir. 21, Pilgrim.
Bad winter. They make you wear those corduroy knickers?
Knee breeches, sir. It was Priscilla's idea.
You need a union.
I need more shapely legs. Through here.
Now, it's quite a place you got.
Well, it looks better without the decorations, sir.
Yeah. How do you keep from stepping on these pumpkins?
It's only when they use them for bowling that it's difficult.
Come on, fill me in. What's this all about?
Thanksgiving, sir. 1621. Okay, this room here, sir. Go right in.
Okay.
Shut the door. Shut it.
Mr. Hendricks around?
He's not here. Come over, sit down.
Who are you, Priscilla?
Please don't say another word of that silly rigmarole or I'll start screaming.
Yeah, well, I could use a little yell myself.
I'm Agnes. I'm Mrs. Hendricks. Or Agnes.
It doesn't make any difference.
Does to my friends. Didn't I say sit down?
Yes, you did, and I didn't. So you don't like the party, huh?
I'm not much of a Puritan, Mr. Regan.
Well, that Great Dane says the masquerade was your idea.
Phelps is stupid. This goes on all weekend, Mr. Regan. It's called a turkey shoot.
Oh, so that's it. Who gets the bird?
The Pilgrim Fathers. My husband's friends. They ought to be shot, every one of them.
Yeah, well, I'm not from the SPCA.
Oh, wait a minute, Mr. Regan. I like you.
That's not the point.
I won't bore you.
Your husband might.
Him. He's crazy, Mr. Regan. Crazy as the things he does. Shooting, drinking, spending money.
A hard life.
I don't know how I stood it for as long as I have. My lawyer says I'm the most patient woman in the world.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the conversation, Miss Hendricks.
Why did my husband send for you?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. You do know. Tell me.
I don't know.
Please. You don't realize what kind of a man my husband can be.
I never met him.
You don't know how much I need help. How lonely I am.
Well, where is he?
I'll tell you if you promise to come back to me.
No, I'll write you a letter.
He's out in the shed, other side of the patio.
Thanks.
I wouldn't act this way if I weren't so frightened. You don't know what it is to be frightened all the time.
No, but I'm learning.
I wish you'd stick around, Mr. Regan.
Well, thanks, Miss Hendricks, but the pin feathers are a little sharp. Mrs. Hendricks went back to her worrying, and I wound my way through the house looking for the back entrance. My legs got tired before it finally showed on the other side of the pantry. It poured out into a flagstone patio as big as a palladium. A walk took me to a shed. It was a two-story redwood place that must have made a loud noise on the cash register, and alongside, fenced in with chicken wire, was a whole population of turkeys. Well, I went into the shed. A little round-faced guy with pink skin was leaning over a barrel of cider. He wore a blue silk smoking jacket with gold initials EH on the pocket. When he caught my footsteps, his head bobbed up, and he gave me a deep look like he was trying to see the back of my eyeballs.
Yes?
I'm Regan, International Detective Bureau.
Oh, I've been expecting you. I'm Hendricks.
Yeah, I know. Why the fireworks?
Huh? Oh.
Miles Standish. Just having fun. It's a party, Big party we're having here.
Yeah, well, the neighbors will complain.
Ah, neighbors. None for miles around. That's why I like it out here. Have trouble finding me?
You ought to put up signs.
Signs? Glass of cider, Regan? Carefully. Glass.
I'm not thirsty.
Yeah. That's not what it's for. Strong kind. Oh, go on. Thanksgiving soon. Get the spirit.
No, I can hold out till Thursday.
Suit yourself. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, it's going to be quite a party here,
Your wife's got a different version.
Oh, you spoke to her?
Yeah.
You were told to come out here to see me.
I got sidetracked.
It's not good for a man in your position.
All right, Hendricks, why am I here?
What'd she say to you?
I forgot.
Regan, you're making me angry.
Now, look, mister, you didn't get me out here to make a pilgrim out of me.
No, of course not. Fine woman, Mrs. Henry. We've been married for years, happily. Fine little woman. Just she makes me a little nervous at times.
You like the sound of guns going off?
She shouldn't get so excited. Boys just having little fun. It's only once a year. What's wrong with that?
Come on, now, what's the job?
Didn't the line tell you?
He said you would.
Oh, well. Nothing to be so mysterious about. I've just got a package I want you to take to them. Here it is. A turkey.
You got me all the way out here to play escort to that bird?
Well, I just want to be friendly. Here. Now, go on. It's a long way back to L.A., and you want to be there for Thanksgiving.
What's the difference? I got the turkey. I can celebrate any time. 60 miles to do a delivery job, bird. Well, I wandered back to my car, and I listened to the crickets and the gunshots try to outdo each other. And then I dumped the turkey into the back seat, and I started the car down the drive. I just zoned it around the bend when the headlights caught a pair of buckled shoes and black knee breeches. Miles Standish was lying face down in the dirt, and there was a wet shine on his side. It was breathing hard. Blunderbuss was lying beside him, and I figured that he blew out the wrong end. I would have gone for the Hendricks phone and the doctor, but I got a good look at the holes in him, and I headed for a hospital instead. The blunderbuss may have been kicking up a fuss, but the holes in Miles Standish were 20th century, about the size of a .32. Well, I turned him over to an emergency hospital. I put a call into the sheriff's office. I gave the story to Lieutenant Robinson, and then I headed back toward town. At the Lyons place, the lights were still on, so I figured he didn't have company. I rapped on the door, and he flung it open before the echo could die away. He had a carving knife in one hand, and he was wearing an apron. His eyes were big, and he had an eager look like a college couple on Mulholland Drive.
Regan, you're back.
Oh, now that takes a big brain.
I've been waiting for you. I had a chance to go to a classy party tonight. Russian caviar and champagne and favors to all the guests. Know why I didn't go?
You lost your crack suit, huh?
I said to myself, is it fair to go out and have a good time while my employee is working real hard for international detectives?
And the answer came out yes, but the party was called off.
Well, as a matter of fact, it was. But I wouldn't have gone anyway. Where is it?
Where's what?
The package from Hendricks.
Now, you can change your plans, big shot. You're getting a bundle of trouble instead.
What do you mean?
Turkeys aren't the only thing they're knocking off out on that ranch.
Huh?
Somebody's handy with a .32, and he's found a target.
You've been drinking?
Check the county emergency hospital. They'll show you the holes.
I send you out on a simple little job, and you come back with a crazy story about a shooting. You're out of your mind.
Now, listen, you. There's a big smell out in Calabasas.
What about my turkey?
The sheriff's office are going to have a lot of questions. You got the answers?
I don't know anything. I was miles away.
Well, then find out something. Check into the guy who shot. Find out who he is, what he does, and what he was doing out at Hendricks.
Where you going?
To scratch around in the Hendricks closet. They tell different stories about their wedded bliss.
Hey, Regan.
Yeah?
Where's my turkey?
It's too rich for your blood, Fatso. Stick to chicken. Well, I left him standing there with his apron hanging out. Miles Standish might get enough wind to do that extra hole to say who shot him, but more likely not. Anyway, with the bucket load he had, he would have sworn it was the last of the Mohicans. But there was an angle to that Hendricks woman, even if it didn't show. So I walked up the street to where my car was nuzzling a lamppost, and the turkey and I were just going to wake up a newspaper office, only something changed my mind. A newspaper. It was wrapped around a bundle, and the bundle was under a guy's arm, and the arm was shutting the door of my car. Good evening, Pop.
Hi.
Going somewhere?
Sure. Find a place to sleep, that's all.
Want a cigarette?
Say, I don't mind if I do. Thought you was a bull for a minute. You mind if I take two?
No, help yourself.
My brother smokes two. Not much in the streets these days.
Yeah, it's bad all over.
Yeah, something ought to be done.
No, stick around, Pop.
No, Sonny. You give me smokes. I don't hit you for cash. It's a rule I got.
I'll make the touch.
What's that?
What's in the newspaper?
Russia.
Inside.
The funny paper.
Yeah, sure.
Well, now take it easy, boss. The guy's got a right to his privacy.
You weren't sleeping in my car.
Oh, so that's it, huh? Yours, huh? Small world, ain't it?
Yeah, come on, let's unwrap.
No, it's Thanksgiving, Mac. Ain't you heard of Thanksgiving?
I'm gonna plug my ears. Give.
Now, please, Mac, show me the spirit. Once in my life, both drumsticks.
Now, stop it, you're breaking my heart.
I mean it, Mac. Let me have it. I'll break the wishbone for you, Sonny. I will. You ain't got no use for all that meat, have you? Oh, you have, huh? Oh, so long, man.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold it.
No, let go of my arm.
That was a pretty dance, but you should have changed your shoes.
What's that?
You didn't get those buckles in the bread line.
Oh.
Now, come on, change the record. Who are you?
That's none of your business. Let go.
I said talk.
I will not.
You're from the Hendricks place, aren't you? You're from the... Oh.
Thank you, Phelps.
That's all right. Got the bird?
Sure. Let's go.
Yeah. Nighty-night, Pilgrim.
You are listening to the story of the Pilgrim's Progress, tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, investigator. Commissions are still available in the Army Nurse Corps. Graduate registered nurses between the ages of 21 and 45 may qualify for service with this fine organization. If you are interested in joining the Army Nurse Corps and believe you qualify for a commission, apply to the Adjutant General, Washington, D.C. And now, back to Jeff Regan, investigator, and the story of the Pilgrim's Progress.
Well, none of it made sense. The Lion sent me out to pick up a turkey on the Hendricks Ranch in Calabasas, and the Mr. and Mrs. were having an old-fashioned turkey shoot, and all the guests carried blunderbusses and dressed like pilgrims. Only it wasn't just the turkeys who were acting as targets. One of the pilgrims ended up with some .32 caliber holes in him. And then the Hendricks lackey and a buddy shoved a gun at me and stole the Lion's bird. Well, I picked myself up and I went home. A heavy man was doing a heist job on my icebox. He was pouring himself a glass of milk to wash down a sandwich he was munching on.
Hi, Regan.
Go right ahead. Help yourself.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't know how long I was going to have to wait, and I was getting hungry.
There's a restaurant just up the block.
I like it better this way, homemade. Fish you a sandwich? Pretty good deviled ham.
Come on, let's close the box and open your mouth, buddy.
Why not? We had a date, remember? Robinson, sheriff's office.
That's what I figured.
You don't mind me coming in like this, do you?
What if I did?
Well, I'd leave. Sanctity of the home, you know. You can throw me out even though I got a badge.
Let's cut away the fat, mister. What do you want?
Answers to a couple of questions. What were you doing at the Hendricks place?
Picking up a turkey?
Well, that's a new one.
Now, look, you ask him. I'll answer him. Never mind the feature page.
How long have you known the Hendricks?
Never met him before.
Wrong answer.
What do you mean?
We found this out at the Hendricks house. A page torn out of the yellow directory with a red circle around international detective.
Well, that doesn't say a thing.
Maybe yes, maybe no. I'm still scratching around.
It'll ruin your manicure.
You know, Regan, you don't seem to realize the seriousness of this. That pilgrim you dragged in died.
Well, that figured.
We don't like unsolved murders messing up our record books.
Well, then you're wasting your time here.
I got lots of it. I don't come up for pension for 12 more years. What was that pilgrim's name?
He gave me Miles Standish.
Sounds like a fake.
Well, don't count on it. I once knew a John Smith.
Give me the real name.
I don't have it.
All right. He's an out-of-town boy, but we'll track him down. Now, straighten out something for me, Regan. How long did you say you knew the Hendricks?
Now, look, I gave this to you once. Nothing's changed.
How come we find a $5,000 check in that joker's pocket made out of cash and signed by Hendricks? Go ahead, answer. Just don't make a date. You may not be available.
Yeah?
Mr. Regan, this is Mrs. Hendricks. I must see you right away.
Who did you say?
Mrs. Hendricks, you remember?
Charlie? No, there's no Charlie here. You must have the wrong number.
Sort of annoying, isn't it, Regan, when you get a wrong number late at night?
Well, it happens.
Sure it does. Happened to me once.
Anything else you want?
Another deviled ham sandwich?
Kitchen's closed.
Pretty rotten hospitality.
Well, you weren't asked.
Okay, I gotta move anyway. See you later, Regan. Keep the mud off your shoes.
ER3408.
Hello?
Mrs. Hendricks, this is Regan.
I just called you.
Well, I couldn't talk. What do you want?
Can you come out, Mr. Regan? Right away.
You still lonely?
Things aren't going well.
Well, murder's like that.
I've got to talk to somebody. Won't you please come?
Give me a reason.
I can tell you some things now I couldn't mention before.
Like why your husband wrote a $5,000 check to the dead man?
Check? But there must be some mistake.
What do you mean?
My husband couldn't write a check that large. He doesn't have any money of his own. It's all in my name.
All right. Put a lantern in the window, lady. I'll need some light. Well, I headed out there fast. But when I raised a racket with a brass knocker, nothing happened. I tried a window, and a couple of scratches later, I was in the hall. The place looked empty, like the Rose Bowl on January 2nd. I found Miss Hendricks' room, where I talked to her and stepped inside. The decorations were different.
Sheriff's office. Robinson.
This is Regan. I got something for you.
It better be good.
You're going into overtime.
What do you mean?
Bring some boys out to the Hendricks place with a wet rag. Somebody blew out Mr. Hendricks' fuse. Well, I backed out of the room, and I made it for the bar trying to turn up a bottle. In the corner, something else turned up instead. Another dead body. The turkey Phelps and his buddy had stolen from me. Somebody real eager had done a carving job on it before it was even cooked. They'd torn it apart like they were looking for something. Well, it was morning before the sheriff's boys cleaned up the Hendricks mess when we got back to town. Robinson had a few more questions, but I was still short on the answers. Ballistics had one, though. Same gun did the job on both Miles Standish and Hendricks. And that's all. Homicide was getting places in a hurry, like a snail hauling a piano. Well, the lion was waiting for me outside the sheriff's office, and he pulled me to the side. His eyes were lit up like a pinball machine, and you could tell he'd caught the scent of a greenback.
They tricked you okay, Regan?
Good enough.
No rough stuff?
Well, nothing that shows, no.
Thinking we're in luck. I've been turning up things. We've been playing the wrong horse.
Well, that figures you're good at picking losers.
Hendricks is a piker, a social climber.
He's a dead one.
I'll send him flowers, but I'm telling you, he could only write checks for 5 G's.
With a big bounce.
Somebody else in this thing can write bigger ones.
Well, let me guess who.
Mrs. Hendricks, that's who. I tell you, Regan, it pays to keep up your connection.
How high can she go?
The sky is below sea level.
What else you got?
Standish is a phony moniker.
That's grammar school.
Real name Jeffrey Kelly, age 42. He's a wholesale jeweler. He had a little business with Mrs. H. $250,000 worth.
That's going to run up his taxes.
He can handle it.
What did he do for her?
I drew a blank, but he deposited her certified check in the bank yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm. How does Phelps figure?
I don't know.
Well, who's the little man in the big overcoat?
I can't do everything. You got to do some work, too.
Yeah, sure.
Now, find Mrs. Hendricks. Offer her the services of international detective at our usual nominal rate, but don't underplay it. Now, get busy.
Where you going?
Home to bed. A man's got to get some sleep.
Well, the time was ticking out, but the game wasn't over yet. I figured to have a fast finish, and the Lion had a pretty good idea about catching some shut-eye. So I moved to the office and to stretch out on the couch. But through the glass, I could see there was a light on. Company was inside.
Crestview 2045. Phelps, no luck. I looked all over. I told you I tore the place apart. Nothing's here. I'm trying my best. Stop harping. Oh, well, it must be someplace else. Okay, right away.
Leave a nickel, Buster.
Huh? Oh, Regan.
You looking for something?
You, Pilgrim.
What else?
Plymouth Rock.
Come on, punk, level it.
That coax me.
All right, because you've been crying for this. Now, flatten out. Well, it felt good to watch the big guy fall. He folded in like a steeple in an earthquake. When his head bounced on the Lion's carpet, it figured he was due for a long sleep, so I went through his pockets. Ticket stubs from the prize fights, the gun, and a pocket knife I dumped into the safe. It was a pass to the Dons game on November 25th. Must have swiped that from his boss. Well, I filed that in the lion's desk for future reference. But this guy Phelps had taken orders from somebody besides Hendricks. I just heard him do it on the phone. So when I turned up an old envelope with 832 North Palm scratched in the back, I crossed my fingers. He'd been calling a Crestview number, and the phone book said that I had a lead. North Palm was in the Crestview exchange area. So I called for the cops to sweep up Brother Phelps, and I climbed back onto my broomstick. I drove out through Beverly Hills. I wound up in front of a big Spanish house with potted $10 bills on the driveway. There was a new Nash sticking out of the garage, and I walked around to take a look. But honest John had beat me to it.
Who's there?
Now, stick around. I want to talk to you.
Stand back. Stand back.
You like cars, don't you? Maybe you want a hot rod.
No, you don't. Get away from me.
Hey. Well, it was the little turkey fan that I'd last seen in an overcoat. Phelps' buddy. He took out of there like a cow in deer season, so I let him go. No license. Well, I took a look around the car he'd been sniffing, but nothing showed except the registration. It said Mrs. Agnes Hendricks. I went to the house and rang the doorbell, and she answered.
Oh, what's you? Mr. Regan.
All right, I'll ask myself in.
Yes, come in.
Who are you expecting, John Alden?
No, I'm glad to see you.
No, I don't like girls who break dates.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I couldn't help it. I couldn't wait for you to come all the way to Calabasas.
You got impatient on account of a body in the house.
You saw him?
Yeah, after I tripped over him in your room.
I didn't do it.
Did I say you did?
You've got to believe me.
Relax. I look like a jury. You got multiple vision.
Oh, Mr. Regan, I was so frightened. I didn't know which way to turn.
We've been through all that woman driver routine. You don't like your husband. You wanted to get rid of him.
But only in Reno.
All right, now let's get back to page 1. You gave 250 G's to a jeweler named Kelly. You bought a rock.
What?
A rock, Plymouth Rock. It's a diamond. It's got to be.
Well,
why'd you do it? Who'd you buy it for?
Myself. My lawyer said I should get it for myself, that's all.
He likes you pretty, huh?
No, it was a community property thing. He said I could keep my husband from knowing how much money I had when he asked for a divorce settlement.
Only hubby got wind of the deal.
I guess so.
You're making sense. Only why did he write a check to Kelly?
Well, it was a small one. It must have been for a paste imitation, don't you think?
It's not my business. Keep dealing.
I mean, maybe he planned on switching them and getting my real one.
That's been done.
He actually did it. Because all through this, there's been a diamond in the place where I always keep it.
All right, you got a strong boy, Phelps. Had him out looking for the real diamond.
What?
And the other guy, the old man, was out in the garage.
No.
Phelps tore up my office, phoned here to you.
Mr. Regan,
now, look, there's been 2 guys killed.
Mr. Regan.
Good evening, Pilgrim.
Where's your overcoat?
Stand still, please.
Yeah, my foot's in a crack.
Mr. Regan, this is John Alden.
Oh, can it, will you? I've seen him act one part already.
That's true. Mine is the only name that's real. This is my house, Mr. Regan.
Lawyer?
Yes, I came here to see him, Mr. Regan. I just got here before you
Be
did.
quiet, Agnes.
Well, I got it all now.
You won't keep it.
Phelps took his orders from you.
It's a waste of testimony.
You started this. Spotted the gem switch. Figured to cash in.
You're losing your chip.
Shut up, will you? I got aces. Hendricks outfoxed you. You never found a real diamond.
Five in a hand draws blood.
Mr. Alden, don't...
Now, you keep out of this, Agnes.
She's not in it. You are.
That's all, Regan.
All right, come on, drop it. Drop it.
Go there.
I guess I hit him with the paste one.
Huh?
Look, the diamond, it broke.
Yeah.
It was just luck. I have the other one, too. I thought Alden was honest. I came to tell him I found it in my husband's cider.
Well, that tears it. Come on, Priscilla. That docks the Mayflower. Well, the whole thing folded in like an elephant on a pogo stick. Yeah, the lawyer did it all right, both of them. When he spotted what Hendricks was up to with that diamond switch, he moved in, but not for his client. The jeweler, Miles Standish, alias Kelly, got bumped because he was the only one who could tell the real diamond from a phony. But Hendricks got wise to the muscle act, and so he got shot. Well, the lion was real happy the way it worked out. That dame with the nerves wrote him a check. So he invited me out to Thanksgiving dinner. He offered me any part of the turkey that I wanted. I told him, but I got it anyway.
Jack Webb is featured as Jeff Regan with Herb Butterfield as Anthony J. Lyon. It's CBS at the same time next week for more hard-boiled action and mystery with Jeff Regan, investigator. Written by Larry Roman and Jackson Gillis, produced by Sterling Tracy. Featured in tonight's story were Mary Lansing, Marvin Miller, Paul Frees, and Paul DeBove. Original music for this program is by Milton Charles. Bob Stevenson speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, it's interesting listening to Jack Webb do something else besides Sergeant Joe Friday, isn't it? Okay, a couple of things here before we leave you. First of all, the first show you heard, the Abbott and Costello show, was sponsored by Camel Cigarettes. When we was on the air at the old WXDB, I had already planned on playing this one. I already had pretty much this playlist already set up and ready to go. And so during the time, I had to cut the commercials out because of that show, because of the cigarette references. We didn't think the FCC would particularly care for us playing advertisement for cigarettes, even though they were some 70, 80 years old. And I had that show cut out, but seeing as I was just on the internet here, there's no harm, no foul, I don't think. Now in the future, if we get on the air with the new station, then of course I'll be cutting those out. Okay, to give you a real quick update on the new station in the works, we had a meeting last Tuesday night and it was just marvelous. I got to meet a lot of the hosts that I've never met before. I had met a few before, but I'd never met. There's a lot of the hosts of the other programs on there that I've never met before, and it was a real joy to meet them and to hear pretty much their stories of who they were and things like that. It was real fun. The person trying to start up the radio station is a great guy. He wants to see the best for Charleston, and he's really committed to getting a sustained community radio station going in Charleston. So that is just absolutely fantastic. I will keep you all informed as to the progress. I don't want to say too much right now because I want to make sure certain things are finalized before I say anything about them, but it's pretty exciting and I can't wait for it to get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close it out for this edition, and keep an eye on Facebook for any updates we might have, and invite some of your friends to listen. Invite them to our Facebook page. And so, as we do normally the end of every show each week, we'll have Roy Rogers take us home. I'll see you next week.
That's all for now, folks. This is Roy Rogers saying to all of you, from all of us, goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you. See you next week. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails.